live.
And we're going live.
Pepper jack cheese, pepper jack cheese,
Hey.
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 pepper jack cheese.
With the
Hey.
pepper.
Mm-mm.
Pepper jack cheese.
Hey.
Mm-mm.
Pepper jack cheese.
2020, 2020, 2025. 2020, 2020, 2025. 2020, 2020, 2025. And I'm losing my mind. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first. Yeah, hell yeah. This is the first show. This is the first official show of 2025 for us. Happy New Year. It's a lot of guests.
Yeah.
A lot of guests. Like we did in December, in the month of December, we had to do like 10 straight shows, none of them released. Then we started pumping them out. And it seems like we've been out there, but we ain't been out there. We've been on a hiatus. 2025. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy fucking New Year, y'all. For real.
Happy New Year.
Man, I just
Yo.
feel like
What a time.
I
what
feel
a
like
time.
this year is the year that I gotta get situated. I feel like this year is the year that you and I need to speak to the people a little bit more, because while we're sitting here with guests, we really don't get to get our opinions off, even though we have dope conversations, right? I'm somebody that no matter what, I'm always gonna look through the comments. I got that like
I think that's the responsible thing to do.
yeah, I think maybe some people can say like I get a little bit too involved in it, but that's okay. That's what I like doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm a shit talker. I'm a Facebook guy. All right?
Okay.
I'm a Facebook guy. So I'm used to like typing to people and talking shit to people and riling them up. And I have my own opinions. I hate when people tell me, hey, you shouldn't speak on that, or you shouldn't speak on this, or maybe you're speaking. I don't give a fuck. I want to speak about what I want to speak about. Is that a problem?
Nah, that's what this shit is for, bro.
Yeah, so I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, you know, we have all these phenomenal guests. Yeah, the Ray Daniels episode. Ray Daniels episode really set me off because we had an opportunity to kick it with another podcaster that is just as passionate about what he speaks about. And I'm not gonna lie, he cooked me. Ray Daniels, he sent me a message yesterday and he goes, hey, Drake dropped the lawsuit. He listened to us. And I was like, he didn't listen to me, he listened to you.
Yeah.
Right? He listened to you. Because I didn't want him to drop the lawsuit or the petition. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, here goes everybody DMing me because I'm way more of a Drake fan today, and I'm proud to say it, than I've ever been in my life.
Hey.
Ever.
Why you say that?
Because people keep trying to come at me. Right? Like because I've been the guy that said, you know what? I'm not with the groupie shit. I feel like these people on the internet are just a bunch of groupies, and they get in the comment sections and people don't realize, like, when people say Drake is done, and this is not in reference to Ray Daniels, because Ray Daniels said so much more that people need to go listen to, because he also said the approach, the plan of attack.
Right. There's a lot of nuance that you got to
and
listen
he
to.
also said, when the caption in the title, right, Drake is done, catchy. But he also said, like, it's just a transition, right, to where he's headed. I feel as though a lot of people don't listen to Rap Beef.
Most people don't.
Yeah. When you think about Bad Bunny, right? Bad Bunny has had a lot of beef in Puerto Rico with artists out there. People that don't know Spanish listen to Bad Bunny. How many do you listen to Bad Bunny here and there? Does it pop up?
Yeah, when it comes on,
Whether you like it or not, you listen to
do. You know what I mean? It just you bop to it. That's what Drake is. Drake makes phenomenal music. Well, yeah, it's 15 writers. Listen, I'm thankful for those 15 writers, because when I'm in the gym or when I'm in the club and I'm vibing, I'm not thinking about the writers. If that's what he has and it's 15 writers per song, I've never thought to myself, man, these writers are really, you know what I mean? Like, I like the music.
Yeah.
Newsflash for everybody out there. This guy in 2015, in 2016, in 2017, in 2018, all the way up until last year, has been the most streamed rapper every single year. You're not reading comments from them on Shade Room because a lot of his fans have no idea what the Shade Room is. You know what I mean? They don't go to the Shade Room. I mean, tell me this, Kato. How many times on your algorithm does Taylor Swift post pop up?
You and far. I'm scrolling through that.
Right. Orlando, you.
Same shit. I don't never see him.
And do you not think that this is the largest global? The reason why she doesn't pop up in our algorithms is because we don't listen to Taylor Swift like that. But if we start talking about Taylor Swift, like after today, it might pop up all over the place, right?
Yeah. The
But
tickets and shit.
It's, and then Taylor Swift comes to your city. I don't see anybody talking about, unless she's endorsing Kamala Harris, we don't even hear about her really. Us, the hip hop heads, we don't really hear about her that much, right?
I see girls popping out.
Here and there.
You know,
but now she does a tour. She comes to Miami. You hear her about her through the Waze app and Google Maps.
Yeah, she's on the fucking news.
Yeah.
They're telling you what routes not to take to avoid the Taylor Swift traffic.
Bro, I was in Buffalo. She did a show in Toronto. There was traffic alerts in Buffalo for the traffic in Toronto.
There you go.
If you want to leave to make it to Taylor Swift's concert in time, you have to leave like 4 hours in advance. This is how Drake is. All right. If Drake comes to your city today and he does a show, the culture. I know people hate when people like me and my complexion say this, but this culture, internet shit isn't the culture. That's the internet culture.
Exactly.
All right. And it's you and your people's opinions culture. There's also other cultures. Do we understand that?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, if we keep it at 1K, this is the shit that Kendrick talked about in The Party Must Die.
Word.
Yeah.
In what way?
Well, he was saying that the whole culture, he talked about the radio host and all that shit.
Yeah.
The fact that we're promoting this whole shit. And he's like, at some point, this shit got to go away.
And it never will. Unfortunately, it never will.
Yeah.
Congratulations for the Auto-Tune Must Die track, right? Because that's what Jay-Z told everybody, right? The death of Auto-Tune. Hey, all he did was make it more popular, right? It just, boom, now everybody's using Auto-Tune. Who the fuck doesn't use Auto-Tune now? Yeah. That's what I want to know. Everybody
I like what he was
uses it.
saying with that.
Wayne went crazy after that.
Yeah, he was wrong on that.
Yeah. But this is what I'm saying. You can't kill these things off. It's okay for the hip hop heads not to like it.
Right.
It's absolutely okay. It's absolutely okay for big time hip hop heads. Listen, I spent how many episodes talking shit about Drake at a certain time of my of my venture in this, saying Drake's this and Drake's that. I've said it.
Word.
All right. The only reason I've transitioned this hard is because people got so mad at me. And man, I am an argumentative son of a bitch.
So, but you're saying you don't like the bandwagoners for Kendrick this time?
No,
it used to be people.
Not even Kendrick, because Kendrick deserves it. Let's not get that mistaken for a second. Kendrick is a phenomenal artist, and he deserves all the love he's getting. There's no doubt about it. The people that are acting like their caption last year wasn't some Drake quote.
The last 10 years.
Get the fuck out of my face. Because I know there's like some like way back in history machine that people could look at people's old posts. So I don't want to pull that up, because when you start pulling up receipts on people, we know what you were doing in the club in 2017. You know what I mean?
So to move this along, you're basically talking about people like LeBron.
Ooh. Where does loyalty? Okay, so I get it. Again, and
that sounds like what you're talking about.
No, I wasn't, but I don't want to be Drake's super protector. I don't want to be that guy. So for
people that don't know what happened with LeBron.
So with Drake and LeBron, my whole feeling on that, and I heard what Bootleg Kev said, right?
Right.
You can't come at somebody that you got tatted on you. It sounds kind of weird, right? Mm-hmm. But on the same note, now granted, it depends. It looked like from the outside looking in that these two had a phenomenal bond, a phenomenal brotherhood. They both came up together around the same time. They took over the world.
Sprite commercial.
You know what I mean? Like you're talking about two goats, right?
I forgot about the Sprite commercial. Yep.
Man,
Yeah.
I mean,
So like you got these two people that have come up in the industry together and reached superstardom together. You got, families bonded together. You got a lot of Drake, LeBron collabs.
Yeah.
We've gotten a lot of that. It's almost like if you say Drake and LeBron, you're talking about the same thing in a sense. You know what I mean? Like the way they both climbed to superstardom, the way they both are. They take, like, if LeBron is the face of the NBA, and that Drake has been the face of music.
same era. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Same era.
And so when you look at this stuff, it's like, okay, well, on the outside looking in, if their brotherhood was that serious, then Drake is allowed to have an opinion on it, right? Like, he's allowed to get on a record and be like, yo, X, Y, and Z, whatever the case is, he's allowed to say that. But like that is what I definitely got to invite the Island Boys again. I'm looking at the comments right now. Orlando just pulled them up. But when you think about Drake and Bron, my whole thing is if it is genuine, and they did have a brotherhood from the outside looking in, it did look that way. It looks like they both spent time at each other's houses. It looks like they both spent times with each other's families and kids. Every time Drake was in LA, he was with Bron. Every time Bron was in Toronto, he was with Drake, as academics so kindly reported to us.
Right.
Which, by the way, I draw the line at that. I draw the fucking line.
Weird move.
Very weird. I hope that Drake didn't tell him to do that. I hope that academics acted alone in that, because that's where I draw a line.
There's no way that acted alone. No way.
I don't think so either.
Because that's some
You know what I mean? Like,
intel,
it's or people in their camp.
But
I don't know. But
clarify for people who don't know.
So I don't. For me, I don't even like speaking on that.
That one's a little crazy.
You know what I mean? No, it's just because like my morals tells me not to. You know what I mean? My principles tell me not to. Like, let the people Google search that for themselves.
But I mean, fuck, man. I also feel like that might play into part of him acting like that. Maybe some of that information wasn't supposed to be shared in at once, so he's like, fuck that side.
You could be right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck my loyalty?
That's the ugly scenario.
Where's your loyalty? Like,
All right, so whatever. It's about Drake or LeBron supposedly cheating on his wife and going with Drake on the runs.
in Toronto.
Like,
Nasty word.
it's nasty. It's nasty. That see, again, I'm a realist. I don't sit here and just like dick ride people. I'm honest about what I see and how I feel. If Drake made that move to out LeBron James, oh my God, that is the nasty work. That's disgusting. You know what I mean? Because
That's that white boy shit that Ray was talking about, man.
if it's true. The
thing is, I feel like Ak has kind of kept a lot of things secret. He makes it seem like he's been trusted with information and he does a good job of withholding it.
I hated it.
To drop some shit like that, first of all, it's cheap. I don't give a fuck who you are. You got nothing to do with none of that to be interjected. You can't be that much of a fan. And if you are, there's something wrong there.
Yeah.
First of all. But it's coming from somewhere. And I don't think if he was trusted with that information, it would be shared at the cost of his relationship with said party, with Drake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If he is trusted with those secrets, for him to go up there and spread, he would have probably got that, yo, I'm gonna say a couple words. Do what you do. I didn't say yes, I didn't say no, but
Yeah, especially because we know their bond. We know academics and Drake have a real bond. That bothers me a lot.
But his own homeboy told him that shit is one way, bro. He's like, yo, Drake be using you, my nigga. The relationship only benefits Drake more than Ak.
I buy that.
You see what I'm saying? Drake ain't
See
never...
how Ak moves and see how Drake moves.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like Drake might not even fuck with dude in real life.
Even exclusively
In real life.
benefit Drake. You feel me? So,
Damn,
yeah.
that sucks.
When you
No, come on, bro.
But
That's on his stream, bro.
No. Let's make one thing clear. Academics has thrived off of having information on Drake. When the rap battle happened, Academics was the prime reporter that everybody went to go see what happened.
You talking about the leak shit or the new one?
The latest one.
All right.
Kendrick versus Drake has been Academics' has shown out to the world. Do you know how much money he's been making on his live streams?
His reactions went viral.
Yeah, not only that, like not only did they go viral, he's made a killing off of it.
But you don't think he's been biased the whole time?
He's definitely been biased. That's okay. Okay, so here goes why I think it's okay. Is everybody's been primarily biased towards Kendrick. Drake's got to have some super fan out there, right? And again, I feel the way I feel only towards the people that are lying, right? Because there's a bunch of liars. Like, come on, bro, cut it out. You know what I'm saying? And this is coming from a person that my favorite hip hop artists are barsmiths,
Right.
right? Like we're talking about people that get down with the pen, they get nasty. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell me that shit. When people hit me with the light skin shit, man, like I know that they could only do it on the internet first off, right? Like the people on the internet are phenomenal.
Right.
Like,
I mean, it's a new breed,
bro, like
Man, this shit's been fun.
the new typers are crazy. You know what I mean? And like, I'm not, a lot of people see me like, damn, I thought you was 6'2", 6'1". You could say it on the internet. You're good at typing. And congratulations to the typewriters. You know what I mean? Congratulations. It's just that like people type some crazy things on the internet, right? Like it unfortunately, I'm intelligent enough to know this. That's a cop-out. You're not part of the culture. That's a cop-out. What in the world makes some little couch potato in Idaho more part of the culture than I am? My skin color? I know for a fact what I have been and who I have been in my life and my involvement and why I'm here today, right? They could say whatever the fuck they want to say. That's okay. I'm just saying, keep that shit over there on the typing. Because if you meet me in real life, a lot of times you realize that this dude's actually seasoned. Right? This guy knows what he's talking about. He's been in the culture. He's been there. Don't drop a beat. You know what I mean? Because I might cook you on a fucking beat too. And that's just me being honest with you. You drop a beat, you let me get in the studio, and I'm cooking you there too.
Well, what if they say you're not really from Buffalo? How Cam said Jim Jones ain't really from Harlem.
Well, then I would just tell somebody that they ride dick, right? Because look, again, people are just gonna say what they want. Right, like that shit's been in the comment sections before. Oh, you ain't really from Buffalo, okay, bro. All right, good. Congratulations, thanks. Yeah, talk to anybody. You can't, and that's what everybody runs to, right? You can't talk to anybody in Buffalo that knows her. Okay, bro.
Yeah.
You know, go head over there because I know I could pop up in my city and I'm gonna be treated very well. The same way when we be popping up at Tootsie's, they be taking good care of us.
Hello, shout out to the gang at Tootsie's.
I love the way they take care of us.
We love it.
But yeah,
what do you think of the whole Jim Jones and Cameron situation and whatnot?
I think it's sad. I think it's sad to see it this late in the game. If it isn't strategic, I think it's extremely sad. If you're a real Dipset fan, because this is also another thing too. If you are a Dipset fan, in some way or another, you pick your hero. If it's Jewels, if it's Jim, if it's whoever it is, you pick your hero. So there's so many Jim Jones super fans that are like, man, he's out of all of them, that's my guy. And they're kind of watching him get dogged out by the other two. It's just kind of sad.
And I don't think listen, I think that it depends on what your view of it is, right? Like Cameron is a hilarious guy. 50 Cent is a hilarious guy. When it comes to shit talk, you're talking about pioneers.
Right.
Like they're really good.
And that's why I feel like responding with this record was kind of like no matter how good the record is, this ain't that.
But he said it. He said, you gave me the spotlight, so I'm gonna take advantage. Here's my new song.
But he got to talk shit with the shit talkers.
One thing about Jimmy though, he can rap.
It don't matter though.
It's not about it. I mean, to who?
In this particular situation, it don't matter.
But to who?
To anybody who's like interested in
there's Jim Jones still has his own fan base, right? Like, I know that when we were talking about Conway the Machine, right? There was a couple years ago. There was a list of like the best lyricists or the best rappers, and there was Jim Jones and Conway the Machine. Benny were in there.
Jim Jones is on this?
Yep.
That's what everybody says.
Because don't forget that Jim Jones went on a run a couple years ago, like a massive run, dropping tape after tape after tape. And Jim Jones called everybody out. He's like, I go to toe to toe with anybody. And people at that moment were like, yo, Jim is the one. Right? I seen a lot of it.
He definitely grew to be respected as a rapper. Real rapper.
And when you think about that, Jim has his own base. So what did you want him to? How do people expect him to respond? He's got a whole fan base he's got to feed.
Right.
So I don't think, like, granted, I when you think about the comedy that comes from 50 and Cam, right? Like it's epic, like it's must watch TV.
It's hard to battle.
I definitely got the Regal popcorn out if I had popcorn, right? Because it's good. I watched it. It's good. Cam is not to be fucked with.
That's what I'm saying. But
50 Cent is not to be fucked with when it comes to the shit talking. But that doesn't mean that Jim Jones doesn't respond.
I think that the best response for him, especially in this platform, this era, their age, all of that shit, he should have just went on the fucking It Is What It Is and the three of them hash it out. Or the Talk with Flea show.
Not always that easy.
But being... Is that something that you want to talk about in public?
It's a lot of money.
Like, don't you rather? What? Okay, so like, let's say you felt a way about me. If you went public to feel a way about me, and I'm your boy, then I might have to go public back to tell you how I feel about you, or how I feel about you speaking on me in public. And I think that's what Jimmy did, right? He said, he definitely talked this shit, and he what he say? I feel like they're tugging on my dick or some shit like that, some shit like that, right? But when you think about what he was saying, he has the right to say it, right? Like he has a right to feel a certain way about them sitting on a platform and talking about him.
I mean, from my point of view, I watched the clip. It didn't really seem malicious. It just seemed like, because remember, Cam and 50 had beef back in the day. Plenty, exactly. And then Dipset had beef with Nas and all this other shit. So I feel like all of them is past it. I mean, shit, we interviewed Jim Jones. Yeah. It didn't really seem like it was a sore subject. And again, I don't think it was beyond a phone call. And if it's really like, we have disagreement, let's do it on air. Just to show the AIDS, no hard feelings. They just did the goddamn verses.
Right.
You feel me? Like how's that?
That was a few years ago now, right? That's we're talking about COVID.
2 or 3 at least.
Yeah, but we're talking.
Is that pre-COVID?
We're talking to 50-year-old people.
So we're talking about 5 years ago already.
3. Like
maybe
3
4
years
the most,
3,
but
4
not that long ago.
Dipset versus Locks.
Listen, I don't think Jim Jones puts himself in a good position to go on their show and let Cam put on the biggest chinchilla he could find. And let's talk about money and shit. No, I don't think that's a good play.
He kind of did the same thing with the video for the little disc record, because he was iced out, David. Because Jim Jones still fresh, bro.
Still fresh.
I see.
But you see how we did Elliott on the show?
August
you think I'm gonna come up
2021.
there so you can talk crazy to me, and now we got to argue about real personal shit? I don't know if that's the best move.
I'm not trying to make excuses for Jim Jones. What I'm trying to say is I do get why he would speak on it. And again, there's no doubt about it. Like when Cam, bro, that was such like an epic wait for Cam's show.
Yeah,
Like,
they took an extra week.
Yeah, like that's me waiting for Uncle Murda's wrap up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Uncle Murda, but like that's what that was.
Yeah,
right. Like I'm sitting here letting Uncle Murda know, like, I don't know about this retirement thing. It's already started off hot. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of stuff you got to talk about, Murda.
Bro, you got to keep that shit going, though.
Yeah, he can't stop it. He can't stop it. But I'm not making excuses for Jim Jones. All I'm saying is, obviously he has his own reasons why he wanted to speak. I think if he would have kept quiet, I don't know how that would have looked, especially to his fan base and how he moves. Jim Jones is also a shit talker.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So like, what he's supposed to, if he's on an interview and he's kicking it and they're asking him about that shit, he's got to answer the question. What did you? I don't want to talk about that. What is that? What people expected?
I mean, Mace do that shit from time to time.
Mace don't even really be doing interviews. You ain't catching Mace sit down and talking to nobody, really, like except for on his own platform. He ain't the type of dude that be sitting down and talking.
Plus, you got to do the math too, man. This is a social media economy, bro. If he goes on a podcast and says that, guess who's getting paid in a couple months? Guess whose streams are gonna go up? Guess who gets invited on 10 more podcasts to make 10 more bags? Jim Jones.
Yeah.
Jomo. So
That's why he
like,
dropped Jomo.
so I gotta say something. And now
That's
niggas
why
calling him Jomo.
Yeah, that's why he dropped the record though. I mean,
Damn right. It's
and
all bing bang boom. You don't think he said, okay, listen, I'm gonna say this. This shit's getting traction.
Yeah.
Let's go to the studio.
And I'm not saying the record is whack or Jim ain't got bars. Like no one's saying that.
It was rushed.
I just feel that
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't heard the record. I only saw a clip.
Kind of
it's
like,
dope.
it's kind of like,
I mean,
kind of like.
it starts off. I see the body in the streets, and I stepped over there. All that shit that Cam kind of was talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Mace
But-
eating the popcorn is just another cherry on top.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, so Mace coming up is one of my favorite rappers.
Yeah.
Right. So like I'm dying for like a Mace track. Right. I know he has music out. So like, listen, I enjoy all of it. There's no doubt about it. I enjoy all of it as a fan, and I'm also on that same note. It's kind of like, damn, I saw Wayno post about this. Right. It's like Dipset, like you almost don't want to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like you
man.
don't want to see it, and it's sad, but it is what it is. I got I talk with a lot of people that have their ties out in Harlem. They feel like a lot of this, it was inevitable. This is the way it was going to go down because how certain people feel in the camps.
Has Joel said anything?
I don't know, but I did see Joel's out in the video shoot with Jimmy and Fabio and I forgot what was it, Baby.
I wonder his take on it.
Future
Oh,
and Baby.
Future with the dude doing pull-ups.
Yeah, Future and Baby.
That's crazy.
But I don't know. For me, I hope they could patch it up. I heard Mace speak on it, and Mace said, ain't none of them gonna listen to me. It would be better if they could just
That's a
talk
fucking
it out
great
and
answer.
stuff like that, but they ain't none of them gonna listen to me. And I feel like that's true. And again, we might feel a certain way about Jimmy, but Jimmy does have his own base. He's gonna speak to his people, and you could go look through his pages and shit. There might be people talking shit about Jim in his own post, but he has a lot of fans as well. You can't discount his fans.
That life.
And you know what happens is we don't know. A lot of times we don't know. Right? I happen to have lived in Buffalo for 32 years. Right? So if you're going to mention anything about Benny, Conway, or Wes, I'm going to have a little bit more information than most. And I'm also going to know more about their fan bases than most. So while you think they're getting cooked in the public eye, out in our region,
Right.
we feel like we're the ones doing the cooking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But on social media, it says this. But over here, it says this. Right? And I think that's what happens with social media. That's why bro, I'm telling you, I'm at a point. I fuck with it because we have to, right? But I don't fuck with it because it's just a lot of nerds like sharing their like.
So weird.
Bro, you really got like nerd gangsters now. You know what I mean? Like, like in reality, the comment they wrote should have said first. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we know you're
I
a nerd.
never understood
Because
that, man.
I've never been like, I've never thrived in, I don't even think you could find maybe, only if it's about us directly, and it's about Orlando Brown because he's a crackhead. But I never really jump into comment sections because I don't care to,
Speaking of social media,
unless it's about football.
like show you how crazy shit is, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Speaking of Orlando Brown, you know how many people I have to convince to be like, yo, that nigga's really fucking crazy.
Yeah.
They be arguing with me. They be like, no, he's a genius. He's the actor. I'm like, no, bro. We had him here. He's the fucking worst, bro.
A couple
And
hours.
because of social media, people will actually have their own conspiracy theories. And we're like, yo, no, he was here. They're like, nah.
I get why they say that, but again, it's like you said, being in the room is completely different.
Yeah.
Because some people do know how to turn it on and pour it on for the camera in front of the camera, but man, those lights never went off.
Yeah,
It was
when
like
the cameras shut
an
off is
ongoing
what
show.
people need to know about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, does genius spit on oneself?
Exactly.
Right? Like profusely. You know what I mean? Like not being able to get words out, just spitting all over themselves. That's not genius. I mean, it was a point where I called my boy Esteban and I'm like, yo, bro, I was on FaceTime with him. I was like, look at this shit. He's like, what the fuck is that? I said, that is Orlando Brown. Slumped over, spitting on himself for no reason. Like actually spitting on himself. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Started asking
But
for
I guess if you let one of the conspiracy theorists get hold of that, there's a reason he was spitting on himself.
That's what I'm
he was
saying.
actually he was spitting out spirits. Like they would have something.
I will sit there and tell him like, nah, bro, he was just fucked up. Nah,
And these people have never met him in a day in their life.
Never once.
You know what I mean? And then all I say to people is, you could look up records. You could look up information, you know, where people live, how they're living. Because people are like, oh, he's a millionaire. I'm like, he's a millionaire from what? From what? He's a childhood star. Okay. After the movie when he was 6 years old, and after the show, there's a 30-year gap. In those 30 years, where did he make those millions? And first off, come on, bro. We got to stop thinking that these are the people that think that all the rappers are rich.
Yeah.
They're the ones that think all the actors are rich. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, why is he living like that? Or why is that NBA star living like that? Like, we seen people in the NFL get $100 million contracts and be broke 5 years later.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me that guy is rich 30 years later? What? In what world? But it's okay. I don't want to talk about Orlando Brown.
It's because he rents a tux.
I feel high.
It's because he rents a tux for every interview.
It's bad. Like, I don't want his spirits to come in here and talk to me.
But yeah, social media, Orlando Brown's really fucking crazy. Like, it's not a joke.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's not
For the
fake.
record, y'all.
For the record. All right, so Dave Blunts. Speaking of people who are crashing out in real time.
Can't put down the cut. Down the cut.
Yeah.
Could I be honest with you?
Dave Blunt.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about Dave Blunts.
He's the big
I know he's a
fat
big
guy.
I know he's a
Yeah.
big fat guy that had some situation with Snoop, but I feel like this is being pushed.
He did like
Pause.
did like a ill rap on the radar, and it went viral. You know, partly because of his size. And then he was on stage sitting down talking about he don't want to quit lean, and you know Snoop got on him and was like, "You need to lose some weight, my boy.
You need to
get
quit fat.
You need to get you need to quit that drug first and foremost." And I don't know, man. If he could do something else other than what we've seen, sure. I don't know that he needs to be torn the way that he is. But
These people
I'll
are the
never not-
ones that are pushed onto. I hate saying pushed on us because I got to say pause. I don't like saying pause. But these are the people that are being pushed. Like I don't know about him. I don't care to speak on him. I hope he gets healthy. He's
Right.
definitely. I definitely seen pictures of him. He's huge. I don't know if that's his whole thing. I'm just being a fat person.
he might be talented, man. He might be talented.
I
never
haven't
know.
heard of him, so it's hard for me to comment. I just know he's a huge guy, and I think Snoop is right.
Yeah.
Right? If Snoop's telling him he's got to get healthy, I mean, come on, common sense. You know what I mean? Snoop's still out there, OG, and at how old?
Exactly.
He looks good doing it. You know what I mean? Snoop's out there coaching, movie roles.
Word,
You know,
boxing.
Snoop is. If Snoop's reaching out to give you advice, it's okay to take the advice.
Word.
Do you think Snoop accidentally posted TaylorMade, or do you think he just felt bad for posting TaylorMade?
I think it's the same situation with LeBron. Because I feel like, I mean, it may be something deeper, especially with all that whole act shit. But, man, that West Coast shit, y'all was there. Them motherfuckers rep that shit for real. It'd be West Coast over everything. You know what I'm saying?
And it's dope. It's dope.
So it's crazy for Snoop to post TaylorMade at all.
What's the story behind that? TaylorMade? Talking about
TaylorMade is
Wiz?
the AI. No. TaylorMade was Drake's diss to Kendrick. That was like the AI version
Yeah.
with Snoop voice.
It was like round 2, basically.
Yeah.
It was before Not Like Us.
Yeah,
It was,
that's right.
I only heard that track once or twice.
That song is terrible.
I thought so. I thought it was weird. I thought it was a joke.
Between that and the Heart Part 6, I'm like, that's the reason why I drink. You know what
I
I mean?
hate when people retract their messages.
Oh, but the Dave Blunt thing. People, to me, that size, definitely a sign of like depression.
Obesity.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely
listen,
depression,
if-
poor
if-
mental health.
If he wants to prove everybody wrong, he's got to lose weight and continue making music, continue rapping, continue making tracks. Because just how they're doing Ice Spice right now is like, as soon as she lost that ass, people don't even want to fucking check for her no more.
Young Villain, that's a good
So-
question. I don't know that Death Row Records has artists. Who's their artist?
They got an album.
yeah,
They
yeah.
got that Snoop new album. The shit with him and Dr. Dre, that's a Death Row album.
Oh, okay. Well, that's Snoop and Dre. He's saying like to promote other artists. I don't even know about other. Listen, we do a lot of work here. I obviously have my own real life too. I have kids and shit, and I try to stay in on most things. A lot of times when we're having interviews and conversations, I hate the word interview now, right? Like a lot of times when we're having conversations with our guests, I'm focused on the guest.
Thanks.
And their story. Like I miss a lot of the headlines. My boy Stro, he always tells me this thing like people moved on from this or people moved on from that, right? And I'm like, there's too many topics to speak about in a day. Attention span is 8 seconds long. There's thousands of thoughts a day by each person. There's enough time to think about work, your kids, Drake versus Kendrick, Dave Blunt's apparently, Death Row Records, the new Future albums, the new Weekend album coming out. There's the Trump out here fucking making moves. You know what I mean? There's so much information. One of the things he says to me that I think is hilarious because I don't believe for it to be true at all is like, the Drake Kendrick thing is over. How long did Nas and Jay last?
Nah, it ain't over. It's gonna be over when Kendrick performed Not Like Us at the Super Bowl.
But it's never gonna be over. What I'm saying is I think it's gonna be a good 4-year run where people are just they're tied together forever and everything they drop, people are gonna comment on.
I mean, to your point, Drake could easily move past this. Like Drake drop a fire project sometime 2025. Q3, Q4, fuck the world up type shit.
I agree. I think you can move past it easily as a stretch. It's going to take a lot, and you got to be real strategic because his steps have been off from the beginning of the beef. So he's got to damn near.
No, I think perception. Perception.
Like, what do you mean?
His steps are off from perception, from what we see. If he wanted to look. I'm privy to some inside information.
Hello.
Okay. This is something he's been wanting to do. This is something about people taking money away from him. The battle has gone on before the battle has started, if that makes sense. Before there was Kendrick and Drake, there was Drake and UMG. This was brewing.
Okay.
In his opinion, he's like, okay, I know why you're pushing this because you want to take money away. You're trying to take from me. I know what you're doing, and here goes how we're going about it. Now, if that's his stance, then the missteps is because he's suing them?
But this is like it's like you got a boxing match, and I'm losing the fight, and I get mad at the promoter because I'm losing the fight.
Nah, it's like it's like you say the other niggas using steroids.
But it doesn't change the fact that
I'm gonna sue the whole WBA, WBC, the whole shit because the fight was rigged to begin with.
Yeah, I think that's what Drake has been trying to say. I think that's his. So again, perception says it's a misstep, but if he's been having this battle with them for a while, it's just been his opportunity to finally say, all right, now I'm going to go out and gain my independence this way or get my billion this way. But either or, now we're talking money. And I think that as a businessman, I respect the play. As a businessman, but also there's that selfish side of me that always wanted to see somebody take these labels on.
But in a weird way, just to move this along, there's an argument that something very similar is happening with Diddy.
Absolutely.
Because you know what I'm talking about? The Bellagio deal?
Diageo
deal. So in other words, right, the theory is that he worked with them for Ciroc and basically got like a royalty deal per bottle.
To promote it without ownership.
Exactly. So this time he worked a deal with them for ownership of the vodka, whatever, the De Leon, some shit?
Tequila.
The tequila, exactly.
Word.
And he was basically saying that, long story short, they were underpaying him or lowballing him or not promoting his shit the right way. And he was going to do exactly what we talk about with Drake. He was essentially going to sue the label. But he was going to sue them for, I forgot what the
The
exact
liquor
term.
companies.
Yeah, the liquor companies.
Yeah, because they were making backdoor deals or something behind, and he's saying like this is not gonna happen with me, and all of a sudden, boom,
the casting
Diddy's going, everything's coming out, and they're like, okay, well, we know what you're doing here, and Diddy in his defense is like, I know what's happening here, just so you guys know, they're changing perception.
Yeah, because he filed a lawsuit against them, and the thing is, right along with the Cassie settlement, they settled with him.
And you know what's funny is everybody's comments, right, has said Drake thinks he could take them on. They're gonna ruin his life.
But my whole thing is,
but everybody's following this perception of his life is ruined. Yet the obvious is really there. It's okay for the hip hop heads not to like him. Drake's still the bigger artist. Because it is not about, and it's okay if you like Kendrick more, that's fine. Again, I like artists more than I like both of them. That's fine. That doesn't mean that the artist I like is the bigger artist. It just means that I like them more. It's my favorite artist, right? You know what I'm saying? Like these are the people that I listen to, that I enjoy listening to their music to the most. But it doesn't mean they're the bigger artist. It doesn't matter if I like Taylor Swift or not. It doesn't matter if I like Bad Bunny or not. These are the larger artists, and I think that's. And then you got Diddy, who's a superpower. And they're saying the same thing. They said the same thing about Cosby. They said the same thing about Michael Jackson. They said the same thing about Prince.
Exactly.
Is there truth to it? Possibly.
Yeah.
so
You know what I mean?
the thing with the Diageo and Diddy, that's actually really fucking plausible when you zoom out a little bit, look at the whole grand scheme
All
of
of it
things.
is.
But back to Drake, can't he argue with the labels and still get back to the raps?
Yes,
Because this is where he's losing a lot of people. And like you were saying, the hip hop heads, a lot of people don't care too much about the whole label dispute. They want to hear you go back in the bars and go back at this nigga's neck.
But but does he need to get back to it if he's still the most streamed artist every month?
If you're the GOAT, you should be able to do both. You should come at these labels and give Kendrick what you're supposed to give him.
No, yeah, but that's over. As far as like,
Is it?
As far as like
It's only over if you quit.
As far as a rap beef is concerned, I think that shit needs to be left alone.
It feels like it's over because Drake's acting like, all right, well, I'm gonna go over here and
Do I
bark
want to
about something
hear
else.
another full blown rap diss towards Kendrick Lamar from Drake? Hell no.
I think we do.
I don't.
That's the most exciting
you?
shit to happen to rap.
I just want to hear him. I want to like throw subs if you got to throw subs, or throw a line in there. But Kendrick just dropped a fire ass album. And there's no specific Drake diss in there.
That's sprinkled.
It's exactly. That's the only way you would want to hear from Drake. To go back into a rap battle mode after what just occurred, hell no.
No, but to Kalo's point, I mean, the Drake fans, I mean, the world in general, we could use some good Drake music.
Absolutely. I'm not saying I'm not saying that's out of it. I'm just saying he's doing what he's doing. He's obviously going to drop his records there. But if you have a dispute with a label, I don't think it's a good time to drop your music on that label. That's where the music's going to be released from. All right. So
that's tough.
So now what are you doing? That's why we've been seeing the Instagram drops. That's why you've been seeing other people leak the music. And what's happening?
Do you think that's been effective though?
I don't think it need. I mean, if he's still the most streamed artist, I don't think he needs to worry right now.
So that sounds like a no.
What do you mean?
Sounds like a. I'm saying, but do you?
No,
think,
I don't think that. Is it effective? Yes, because when the songs drop, they're talked about everywhere.
The 1,000 gigs and all that bullshit. You think that was effective?
The 100 gigs.
The 100 gigs.
The 100 gigs. They're pretty good records, but they never lived on the other platforms until later, right? They were Instagram big. And that's where they were posting. We've seen J. Cole do it, and it's like the Air Force Ones, the Black Air Force Ones freestyle from Kendrick. That one didn't hit as hard,
Right?
but it's because he dropped it on social media, and it is a significant difference of when you're dropping something. Like if Drake's dropped a surprise album, I think it'll do phenomenal.
I see what you're saying.
But they're using social media to drop everything.
Something Joseph Renner said. Danza's on point with that one. Young Villain said he got to drop that Drake and Party album and make him forget about 2024. That's a good move. I like that move.
I absolutely believe that as well. But it's again, we really don't know what the beef is about between UMG and Drake. But again, somebody inevitably has to be able to step up. Look, make no mistake about it. The labels are raping people out here.
Always have, always will.
Yeah. But it could change a little bit. Look, have we not seen collective bargaining agreements in every league? Right? We've seen it in the NFL. Look at what just happened. What happened in the NCAA
Listen, man.
has changed the trajectory of NCAA forever. Look at the portal. Look at the the NIL deals that come in now. Like, you got college players making millions right now, which was frowned upon. A college athlete can never make a dime. They just have to slave through their 4 years.
This shit was illegal for a while.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what happens? Inevitably, enough people have spoken up for there to be a shift in the industry.
But the record industry ain't doing that, though.
Let's say the record industry shifted and said, okay, we're going to give people 5% more. That 5% is hundreds of millions of dollars.
Nah.
Money is going to move. And
think
everything in the Me Too world and the social media world, money is going to move.
I mean, I think
people will become more independent, which would also be a positive shift. But I think that will cause the labels to sit back down and work out a different agreement, right? Like, let's say everybody today decided, all your major artists decided collectively, hey, we're gonna drop our music independently. We're not signing to a label. You don't think the labels will come back after that and say, okay, well, everybody's going here. Why don't we talk and see if there's some sort of an agreement we can come to?
that's essentially what TikTok did, and the labels told them to go fuck themselves.
TikTok will be back in a day.
Because, all right, so here's the situation to me with the labels, right? Right now, it's not about new artists. It's about the three major labels and their back catalog. And social media, the way the streaming and all that shit works out, has made that shit so much more beneficial. So it's almost to the point that Drake is in a unique situation because his catalog is so valuable. Like, Vlad was sitting right in that seat when we were talking about, he was like, yeah, we're in a bubble. People's catalogs are overvalued. So the fact that whoever's running the catalog, which are the major labels, they're the ones who are basically in the driver's seat. So they really can lowball you for your new deal, which is kind of what Drake is saying right now. Or even with NBA Youngboy, right? He has all this social media traction and he has a sorry ass deal with his label. Shit like that. So I think the situation is that artists have so many more options and the labels are all collapsing. That's why you don't see the label execs, the Ray Daniels, all of them people are out of jobs. You know what I'm saying?
That's a big topic right now.
You feel me? Like, because right now,
Ray Daniels, by the way.
Shout out to Ray Daniels.
yeah, shout out to Ray Daniels.
Monster in the game.
Yeah, but all that shit now, they're managing music as if it were social media. So now,
You're right.
Yeah. So now they're basically, social media companies are essentially running the music platform through Spotify and all that shit. And the labels are really like, they're like holding real estate. They're the ones that have the back catalogs that people are posting with the shit.
Problem is there's always new music going to be made, and these new artists are definitely going to figure out ways to make more money. It's been out there.
Yeah, they
I'm
already
telling
have.
you these.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, in my opinion, what happened with the NIL and the NCAA is it shifts everything. It says that if enough people put in enough work to make a difference, it will become a difference, because the NCAA, if you're familiar with college football at all, it's something that, or college sports, it's something that was unfathomable at one point. Like, they're never gonna give these college athletes a dime.
Yeah, I mean, because I went to college, bro. I went to UF. So the tipping point is like the late 90s, early 2000s, when all these stadiums are packed, the merch is through the roof. It's the beginning of
Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush, exactly.
Yeah. That's when it became a big deal. Like, Reggie Bush took all the money, and Reggie Bush, that's your superstar running back. They took away his Heisman. They took away their championship award, I believe.
Nah, it was more than just Heisman.
I don't know if it was just the Heisman or if they revoked the Heisman or the whatever it is
I
they
know it
took
basically
away.
fucked up his draft. You know what I'm saying?
No, he still did well in the draft. He didn't end up panning out to be the greatest football player as people expected him to be, but it definitely was something where a lot of people were like, is it really fair to not give that guy money after he's elevated that program?
Right.
You know what I mean? And you could say the same thing, right? Here goes the argument. There's a lot of people out there that are thinking, is it really fair that Kendrick gets this cut and Drake gets this cut when they've taken over music? Like Good Kid, Mad City has been charted for like 10 years or some shit. Every week. You know what I mean? Like, it is one of the greatest albums ever. Again, I'm not about to sit here and shit on Kendrick because I like Drake, right? Like Blacker the Berry's got to be in like my top 20 songs of all time, right? Like ever. I could probably go through a list and just go word for word on a lot of these Kendrick tracks that are phenomenal. It's not about like I'm somebody that I could just sit here and be like, oh, I enjoy this song and I enjoy this song too. I don't give a fuck if they have a problem with each other. I listen to a Jim Jones track, I listen to a Cameron track, I listen to a 50 Cent track, Drake track, and whoever, all in the same goddamn day, and I'll be okay. I think some people feel like disgusted doing it. Oh my God, shut that off. It's Drake. Like it's in your playlist, it's in your liked songs. It's okay.
So
you know what I mean?
you think he's gonna win a lawsuit?
I don't know. I don't. If I were to say what I think will happen, I think that he's going to eventually win the battle that he wants to win, and I don't know if that's necessarily winning the lawsuit.
What I like,
Kato, what you think?
what I like about it is this is a play as one of the greats. This is a GOAT play. This is what Mike did. This is what Prince did.
It's up there with Prince writing the shit on his face.
This is I'm bigger than all these other artists. My beef ain't with you artists. My beef is with who pays us. Like I'm on another tier. I'm not worried about these little
Yeah.
I'm talking up to the execs and I'm coming heavy. Like I think that's another plate to greatness, no matter how it goes. It'll go down in history that, oh, remember in 2024, Drake caused the scene. And now this is happening 5 years later because he started carrying the flag. I think whether that's intentional, obviously there's an argument behind it. He really feels like there's an injustice, but I think it's a testament to how great he is and will be. I don't think Drake is done. I think that's so naive to say. I think that's too early.
I think none of that's possible.
To say he's done, have an absurd amount of people flipped the switch and said, fuck Drake, we don't like Drake after bumping his shit for 15 fucking years.
Until he come out with a next fire song, they're gonna be right
even
back.
the conductor freestyle, right? Like people that can make whatever. I was annoyed. I couldn't even get on any platform and not see this shit plastered all over the place. Like I saw his face so many times in that fucking TV. I was like, what is going on? Like, what did he say? It was on every headline. The dude dropped the conductor dropped the freestyle of his that was clearly
rough.
It was months old.
Right.
It wasn't in a studio. Okay, it was just like it was him just really venting.
Yeah.
If anything, you could call that track "Venting" by one of my favorite artists, 38 Special. All right. 38 Special. I need that intro.
By the way,
but if anything, it's that, and it's like, okay, that's not even. It's clearly not a track that he's coming out to be like, yo, I'm back. But for that track to be plastered all over social media, and the only thing I heard about for about 72 hours was like, it shows you what impact is he not leaving? That dude drops a record and it's #1 trending worldwide for the next 72 hours. It doesn't matter what the hell he's speaking about. We've heard more about LeBron James. Like Drake might have boosted the NBA's ratings right now. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, and that's how it is. And I don't want to talk no more Drake Kendrick right now. I'm done. Yeah.
My next question, right? So you think Diddy gonna be his case? Because they say his defense right now is that the Cassie tapes dropped, the whole freak off shit, and they're like, wasn't that bad? They're like, she's doing all the work. She seems like she's having a good time. She's bossing niggas around.
Well, the new thing is that that I just saw is Cassie was in possession of all these tapes,
right?
of the freak offs, and she was like a willingly, like she was all in.
Yeah, she was conducting traffic. They said, and these are the ones from her phone.
And shout out to Brad Cohen for putting it out. I don't know if you've seen what I don't know if you, and for those who aren't familiar with Bradley Cohen, he's a phenomenal attorney. And his breakdown of it was A1, right? Like, he's like, well, this is kind of what I knew would happen. You know, like, it's okay, you did all this stuff, but you're a willing participant. It was for perception. Again, we all thought open and shut case. Now it's not looking like that. Now it's looking like Diddy's finally getting his legs up under him. It looks like his team's getting his. Now people are kind of
riding a mini bike. What the fuck was that?
Was that real?
What was that? It's like riding a scooter in fucking prison. What the fuck was that?
I did see that. I don't know if it was real.
That didn't look like AI.
You know what? Some of the stuff I see on the internet now, I just discount as not being real because it's so outrageous. And it
I gotta
probably
see
is.
a few places for me to be like, yeah. I seen that shit. They also said Diddy slapping niggas in prison and running.
6ix9ine apparently put Diddy in academics on the phone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That was a thing.
You said, will he win his case?
Yeah.
There's a lot of collusion that needs to happen. I think there's a lot of things that need to be solved behind closed doors. If there is as many high profile people on them fucking tapes, it's gonna get settled like the Epstein shit. We're gonna hear things, but we're not gonna know.
Because we kind of have a comparison right now. Y'all know.
Heavily.
Y'all know about the Abercrombie and Fitch case, the CEO.
What? They always got some shit, dark ass shit.
No, he was sex trafficking for real. Like they got the former CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch,
like models and shit.
Yeah, like little girls,
little boys. I thought he was one of the. I mean, that just sounds like a Abercrombie and Fitch guy just playing with little boys.
But the thing about it is, they got multiple defendants, multiple,
and it's crazy. Listen, again. Call me light skin, dark skin, however you want to call it, right? You could pit me. I think I'm very annoyed with the fact that Diddy, being a black man, of darker complexion, gets plastered all over everything. And of course he's more famous, yeah. But come on, bro. Like, we're talking about kids here. That should be the headlines. That should be what you're seeing on Shade Room. That should be what we're seeing on TMZ and everything. But that's not plastered all. Nobody cares about that. They only care about ruining who? The black man.
Well, yeah, but the problem is he punted that girl like a football down the goddamn hotel.
Word, but don't get me wrong. Again, there's more. There's things that are in the limelight there because of who Diddy is. However, that doesn't mean that what these guys, we don't even know the real storylines behind it, what's going on, because it's not plastered all over. We don't know if he didn't punch 7 little kids.
I mean, I agree with you, but the thing about the way that media works, it's the same thing with Chris Brown. Like Chris Brown, there's certain shit that will never happen for him. And it's all because the picture of Rihanna's face.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, there's certain things, once you have that visual component, it fucks it up, bro.
He's still a little tarnished.
I mean, the kick wasn't that bad. No. I'm just saying that to be a dickhead. But it is, I'm just saying that I believe that focus is always on the black man, and that Abercrombie and Fitch, I'm actually disappointed that I didn't hear more of it, because it should be plastered all over social media the same way we see it. And maybe that's partly our fault as a platform. Maybe we should be platforming some of the victims or reaching out to some of the victims to see what's going on, because maybe if we start bringing it to the limelight, then others would. I'm just saying that is disgusting. And I bet there's a lot more there than what there is with Diddy. I bet you there's a lot more.
Exactly.
And those, because these people are the ones that, like, we have heard all the conspiracy theories of selling people, right? A lot of Diddy's stuff, you can argue and say that these are a lot of willing participants, right?
I mean, according to the Cassie tape, she's directing traffic.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We could argue that, or people can argue that. I don't think that people can argue that with this Abercrombie situation.
No, the trials are on the way. They're about to put this motherfucker under the jail.
Yeah. And so let's get a little bit more, let's do our job now and try to reach out to some victims and see what we could speak on about this. Because that is somebody should be bringing that to the light a little bit more.
Word.
You heard?
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. So Kodak Black.
Kodak.
Pray for Kodak. Pray for Kodak.
Definitely pray for Kodak.
I'm confused. I am.
I think we all are, man. But that's the problem. We are watching him confused.
Are we?
Yeah, because he's got.
Is it possible he's playing everybody?
Now you sound like we're talking about Orlando Brown. No,
he's not playing. I think he's 100% him every single moment. You know, I don't think he's the type to do too much to put on. I think he shows more than he knows.
Well, I can tell you,
showing. There's certain things you can't hide. There's certain characteristics. Anybody who grew up in the hood, anybody who grew up around people with an addiction, I don't care what you say. As much as we fuck with Kodak, of course, from the South, from Florida, something's going on there, and it's not healthy.
the perspective I got is because when I had a studio, I actually recorded his brother, John Wicks.
Okay.
And a couple other sniper gang people I came through. And the vibe I was getting from them is like they didn't really understand how famous they were. Like,
How so?
like John Wicks is out doing like regular trap shit with 1 million followers. Like his Instagram literally says like 1M, and he just be talking to people on the shit and doing all this extra shit, regular hood shit. And I'm like,
these niggas is really
yeah, like you don't think of that 1 million followers, some of them is the police. They be wondering why they get caught on live and why all this shit happens, because they don't really think that these are the real people. They think it's like a score. Like it's just a number next to the
Police
follow
watch
count.
everything.
Yeah, they do.
Everything.
Time.
I think like I made music in my life. I knew a lot of people in Buffalo that were making music. I also had friends that were in the streets that have turned police officers, right? That became actual police officers that gave out the warnings. Yo, your homeboy, so-and-so, they're paying attention to everything he's doing right now. Fact. And, you know, I call my homeboy up, yo, so-and-so told me they were looking at you. Ain't nobody looking at me. I ain't worried about that.
all right.
All of a sudden they get picked up. It's like granted, whether or not you have anything on you at that time, if you're rapping about it, you're putting shit in videos, they are definitely, they got units, they got social media units inside of every police precinct.
I feel like we was trying to explain that to Dewey Low, because he was just, I don't know why they keep catching us.
Yeah, because he said they got these hip. I saw a lot of people in the comments say that because he was like, they got the hip hop police now, and it's like, oh, they had those. They had them for a long.
They've
time.
been around as long as hip hop.
Early 90s.
And again, me making music was so long ago, and this was out back then. You know what I mean? We're talking about 2010, right? So we heard about hip hop police from 50 Cent every day.
Yeah.
Right? Like we heard about all this stuff. So we know that that it's a real thing. Look, when we get back to Kodak, you're right. Right? Like, yeah, I guess for me more like in the same way that people love Orlando Brown, I got that love for Kodak.
For sure.
And I wanna believe everything else but the fact that he might be battling that heavy. And we have heard him speak about mental health and the things that he goes through. He's a phenomenal artist. I pray for Kodak to figure out his way. I hope that he's okay. I hope that he's got the right people beside him. Because a man like that has the weight of the world on his shoulders. And everybody depends on him. Kodak stays attached to his neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And being attached to it makes you the savior. We need you, we need you, we need you. And sometimes he needs himself. Sometimes he needs peace. Sometimes he needs tranquility. Sometimes he just needs to get away. But a man like that, that's so connected to his hood, maybe he's having a difficult time separating and getting away because so many people need him.
100%.
You know what I mean? And he also has a family. He also has kids. He also has people he has to deal with on a day-to-day basis. I pray that man gets all the help he needs, because Kodak is one of those people once in a lifetime type of guys. and I would hate to see something go wrong with Kodak Black.
One of a kind. One of the few from Florida, one of the few from Broward.
Yes.
Word.
So speaking of living legends, the Zester.
Oh my goodness.
Easter.
Benzino.
Shout
Trippy Red's dad.
Red's father-in-law.
Trippy
That's a wild thing. I tell you what, that couple looks good for each other, right? Coy and Trippy, it seems like
They're gonna have a clear baby, man.
Oh my God, dog.
but that is like that's a match made in heaven right there.
So that's where that's coming from?
Yeah. Coy and Trippy.
Whoa.
Yeah. She's pregnant for real.
That's down here, though. He stay down here?
Yeah, we need to have him on the show.
He lives like in an all black, blacked out mansion.
Such a bad move if you live in Florida. Just heat your house all the way up.
Yeah, right. I mean,
I know.
I'm sure he's rich enough to have figured out a way from that.
But still,
Whoever constructed that house figured out a way to make that.
That shit could be a special type of black that breathes in the winter.
Yeah, he's rich enough. He built a castle. Whatever he has going on in there, I'm sure he's got the right architects.
Yeah. Damn. So,
but poor Benzino.
Poor
Benzino. Listen,
man.
Benzino is a man that we have had on our show several times, maybe 10 times. Benzino reached out to me immediately after his Tubi movie premiere rehearsal, and said, "You want to be the first to get the interview?" Absolutely not. I don't want to talk about it. I got all the love for Benzino, but I don't want to talk about it. All right, like I don't want to have anything to do with it because I have my own opinions, and I think most of us know, like Uncle Murda said in the interview that I did with him, that was cap. And it's just something I didn't want to be in a position to be looking at you and be like, come on, quit bullshitting me. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be the guy.
It would have came down to that.
I don't, and I don't want to be the guy. Again, last time him and I were on the platform together, we had a long ass argument that for whatever reason people think what I do is fake. No, shit ain't kind for that. When I say shut the fucking camera off, it's because I really, when somebody's like, oh, well, you shut the camera off, but you showed the outside footage. I was just letting people know that, me and him handled it. Again, if you look back on that date, there's 2 interviews that dropped. There's part 1 and there's part 2 because that situation led for us to have a phenomenal conversation after we argued for a whole fucking hour.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I didn't want to argue about him or with him about the.
No, that was wild.
You know what I mean? Like
that
was.
It's
here's the thing. We have group chats.
Uh-huh.
Our group chat was pretty hilarious.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It was funny, and I was sitting there and I said, "Oh, he's gonna twist this one up." That's the first thing I said. This is good. Whatever comes of this is gonna be something hilarious.
He's quick too.
Yeah,
he responds quick.
And then in typical Benzino fashion, it's a gym. You know what I mean? It's him flexing. Yeah, I just got done bench pressing 315 pounds. I'm looking good. Yeah, 50 is funny. You should say that because I got the new Tubi movie coming out. Yeah. Movie premiere. Hit me up for interviews. We coming out. People ready. Eminem is sending his soldiers after me. White boys. You know what I mean? Like I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was about to transpire. For me, I was like, I don't want to be any part of it. I said to Fred's like, oh, well, this could be bad because it could lead him down a dark path in life. And I said, Diseaster? No, this is a shining moment for him. And I was like, I expect a text message within the next 48 hours. And sure enough, I look at my phone and there's, Danza, you want to be the first one with the interview? I was like, let me not answer to this one.
I just want better for him, man.
Me too.
I want better for him, not just for what the public persona, not just for what everybody sees on social media. I know that's a big deal. Being somebody who's such a pioneer in hip hop culture.
Man, I used to love the fucking Source, man.
But the fall from grace has just not been a fun or good one to watch. And, him being in front of the show, it's like, oh, I'm really rooting for you, and then just
Because he's a cool guy.
series of unfortunate events. It
You know
seems
what I
like.
mean? He's a cool guy. One thing I
Absolutely.
learned from this shit here is that everybody that's doing anything with any type of motion, 9 out of 10 times, it's because they got a personality. You know what I'm saying? Like
100.
they usually got a person. They cool as fuck, except for goddamn Riff Raff.
That's all personality.
Nah, Riff Raff has an incredible personality. I think Riff Raff, if you got to catch him in the right moment. Riff Raff is more. All right, I got a comparison. Riff Raff is the Theo Von of hip hop.
Wow.
Okay.
He's the Theo Von of hip hop. But you got to watch some of his interviews where he's on,
That's
because he could go into all his characters.
But that's what broke my heart about
Yeah,
our
but he
interview.
didn't give us.
Is
he didn't.
we didn't
But
get
maybe he wasn't fucking with us. That's okay.
that. Anybody know his real name?
I don't know. He's got too many.
Yeah.
He was his real name that fucking day. He was not Riff Raff. He was him that day, and we were kind of like, okay, well, if you want to do an interview like that, sure, no problem. We can do it like that too, but give us some of the flash.
Yeah.
You know,
Listen, we can't. We also, and on our come up, there's been people that have come up here and kind of like, what do we do? You know what I mean? It's
we had some stuff for him.
but until you know who we are, like now people are starting. I feel like 2020. If somebody asks who we're gonna have as guests up here for 2025, we'll start. We normally never say anything, so we got some dope plans for 2025. I can tell you that. And we're gonna be outside a whole lot more. I'll tell you that too. When a lot of people have sat down with us early on, right? Like it's a feel out process. Who the fuck is Danza and who the fuck is Kato? And what do we call Kato at first? Like, do we call him like, you know what I mean? Like they don't even know yet. But now they know.
But when you
Duty Low comes up here, but sorry for cutting you off, but I think it's important to add this. When Duty Low comes up here, Ray Daniels comes up here, Rotimi comes up here. What do you hear when Stephanie Sibonwing comes up here? When Uncle Murda's talking to us, back to back to back to back to back, they're coming in here, they're sitting down, they're getting comfortable in this chair right here, and they're like, I fuck with y'all. Everybody's saying the same thing, but this wasn't the case in the beginning. So when you got Riff Raff up here looking at us, he's like, who the fuck are these guys? And what are they about to ask me? And so now we're like trying to get him into his character, and he's like, I don't even know who the fuck you guys are, or what you guys do, or how this is about to go. Now people know who we are. Now people are kind of like, I know that when I sit down, Kato's gonna hit me with some shit. You know what I mean? Kato's gonna, he's like it's written in the Revolt bio. You know what I mean? He's the jujitsu master, the black belt. He's gonna fucking bring down. You know what I mean? He's gonna bring your energy. You know what I mean? Boom or you know what I mean? And because I tell you what, and we make people cry up in these seats.
Word.
We you know what I mean? Because we're just having organic conversation.
What I was gonna say was though, like for somebody like him, my assumption was he knows enough of who he is and who he can be that when you come up to an engagement or an arrangement and you're here to do that,
Yeah.
showtime, baby. You know what I'm saying? And you should come here regardless of who the fuck I'm there in the room with or who's interviewing me. I'm Riff Raff. That's the whole persona.
Yeah.
The zigzag beard braids with the fucking neon lights and the custom shoe and the basketball shorts with the mullet braided in the back. You supposed to be in any fucking room like I'm that nigga. You're not supposed to come up here and be dry or short.
I think he's
Just
been
my
seeing a
opinion.
therapist, and she probably gave him some meds.
We could have called him at a bad
We
time.
could have called him
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
We give everybody grace.
Yeah, he's
Here
just
at the
kind of
Danza
like
Project.
relaxing or whatever, because that nigga ain't got no personality. I ain't gonna lie. Fucking MTV.
You win some, you lose some,
Yeah.
man. You win some, you lose some.
So TikTok.
Yeah.
Do you feel like come Sunday, TikTok's done?
No. I feel like this is just
So
extortion.
Meek Mill's gonna buy it? I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought we was finished? You know what I mean? I think that's wild that he said that he was gonna buy TikTok. I think we can all collectively agree Meek Mill might not have enough money to buy TikTok.
Meek Mill is a character on social media.
Yeah.
I don't know. What
Elon Musk talking about buying it is
That's
very
what I was
realistic.
saying. That's crazy. I mean,
Does China want to sell it?
Bro, how many people are fucked if TikTok goes out of business on January 19th in America?
Honestly, quite a few. A
I
lot
mean,
of new wealth.
we've seen this before. It happened with Vine.
Were they getting paid on Vine?
Yeah,
Not like TikTok.
not like TikTok.
I know
Like,
some motherfuckers.
not like TikTok, but they were getting paid on Vine, and Vine was early.
So TikTok's looking at Vine like, they not like us.
Last extortion play. They just want a piece of the money, so you have to sell it to an American company.
I don't think it's an extortion play. I think that spying shit is very real.
I mean, real, yes, but is it any worse than what fucking Facebook does?
Well, that's what they said on Joe
Well, I
Rogan.
mean, Facebook is an American-controlled company, so they should be allowed to spy on you in their own views. Where in America, and TikTok has a lot of Americans on TikTok, that's their beef. You got all their information? Hell nah.
I mean,
It's not just that. There's a
It's
whole
the data.
It's the well,
but they
it's
can
the
get the data
and-
from Target, man.
Listen, we're in real beef with China. I don't know if people know, like, world wars aren't supposed to look like they looked like 50 years ago.
Right. Well, that's the argument, though.
That's not how they look anymore.
But outside
this is
of
the
the-
way that people are doing war now.
Outside of the data, it's the influence that TikTok has on the American people. It's
Yeah.
the whole psyop, the psychological warfare of it all.
Yeah.
Because they were saying like a distinct difference between what TikTok looks like in China, where it's super educational and like contributed to society, whereas here it's fucking dances and shit.
Yeah,
and,
but-
and that's it. It's
Well-
like super low.
What people
frequency.
forget is that China's internet in general
Completely
is
different.
censored.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want? You want freedom or not?
So what changes if somebody buys
but
it?
is there a line that we could say, do you want stupid or not?
I mean,
Because my God, there's a lot of stupid people out there.
supposedly the line is hate speech. So all of these platforms, least one being X, monitor hate speech to a certain extent. And other than that, you can pretty much do what you want.
But there's a lot of stupid out there.
And they don't monitor stupid.
And
Especially
China
America.
does.
Well, China monitors anything.
Yeah, I know, but maybe a year of monitoring stupid won't be so bad.
The problem is that we live in a capitalist country, right? So that means that anytime you can do some shit like that, somebody's gonna pervert it in the name of greed.
But,
Do you think if we got rid of a year of stupid, would we be better left off as a country?
yes.
I mean, if we could do that, let's of course get rid of girls who don't suck dick. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa, where do we go from there?
We can get rid of
Let's
certain
get rid of
shit.
those.
Under Trump,
Girls who don't.
as of January 20th, the inauguration of Trump, a lot of shit's gonna change. Today they said they banned red dye 40.
Yeah.
So
I was
if-
about to bring that up.
And Trump is talking about buying Mexico and taking over Canada and the Gulf of
I
Mexico,
bet you.
turn it into the Gulf of America. And
Yeah.
he's talking about changing shit. And apparently when he says he's gonna do some shit, something's gonna get done.
Yeah, he tends to do
It's
things.
like
That's
it's a
for sure.
new
He also said he was going to build a wall and make Mexico pay for it.
Wait, he did.
He built a piece of a wall,
and
He
did.
built a lot of wall.
and Mexico did not pay for it.
And
Yes,
did.
they did, because he taxed the hell out of them. He took their money to pay for it. That's how you do it.
I see. I see.
I'm gonna
Kato
make them
Googling-
pay for it.
I see Kato googling it. What did he do
No,
it?
because there was something else that happened too that plays heavily into this that he's trying to change. I forget exactly what it is.
Also, you can't build that much wall without collective effort from everybody involved. But they did build a pretty decent chunk of wall. Like, we're talking about how long did it take him to build the Great Wall of China? It doesn't take, it's not 4 years that it takes to build. First off, he has to get in the office. He has to get it approved to even start it. All right, so that's going to take its own year or more, right? It's not like Trump says it gets built and then it gets built.
That's all I'm saying.
You know what I
about
mean?
some of
Like,
these
that's
claims,
not how
man.
presidents work.
I understand.
You have to
that.
have, it's a collective effort, but he definitely started putting wall up, and it was a substantial amount. I don't think it was a little amount.
I think it was a little.
How much wall was built between Mexico? Can we Google that? You don't Google it because we already know the computer will probably fuck up or something.
Yeah.
TikTok is like a slot machine. Might take 10 losses, but they'll serve you a win to keep you watching. Yeah, word. I don't scroll through fucking TikTok.
I don't have TikTok.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't
that
scroll.
shit's
We
crazy.
have it for the Danza project, but
Yeah.
I don't fuck with TikTok. I already spoke on my story of actually scrolling through TikTok. It was a tornado video that got me. I thought tornadoes looked cool, and then I was 7 tornadoes in where I was like, what the fuck am I watching? That's the only time. That's the only time.
What you think about Jello tracking?
I think
654 miles of barrier.
654 miles is a small piece.
Yeah.
Well, so there's different
In
phases.
what world?
That's half of Florida, bro.
There's different phases,
That's
though.
not a lot.
350 miles of replacement secondary border, 222 miles of
It's
new
not
border.
even in the same place. It's 650 something spread out.
Yeah, but that's, again, it takes time. You're not going to build that right away.
Listen,
Right. And you have to have collective effort from each one of these states and everything they're doing. Like everybody has to agree to do this. And there was a lot of pushback on everything that Trump did.
Did he build the wall or not?
The House is ruled by Republicans now, right? The Senate is ruled by Republicans now, right?
I don't know if they have a super majority.
I think they do.
Will be.
I'm pretty sure they do. It'll change a little bit this time. When you have collective effort, things will change.
The last time they tried some shit like that with a super majority, super majority, was they were trying to get rid of Obamacare. When Trump first got in office, and he was saying some of them same hollow ass promises about how he's going to get rid of it and replace it with something better, and it never happened.
For sure. I'm not saying that the man did everything right.
I'm not saying
I'm not no groupie like that. I'm saying that you can't say that 650 miles of wall is
not a
small
wall.
chunk.
I can say it's not a wall.
It's a wall.
It's not.
You got to understand that it's going to take time if they do follow through. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen in one presidency.
Yeah. My whole point is that Trump can say a lot of wild shit, and I take it all with a grain of salt.
You have to, but I believe if anybody was going to do it, that motherfucker would do it.
Yeah, that dude be honest.
You know what I'm saying?
He definitely did a lot. He definitely made a lot of his promises too.
I wouldn't be surprised if Trump does something about OnlyFans, a way to slow it down or mitigate it or tax it or make it like to kill it down a little bit. To say we're losing our future, we're losing our men, we're losing testosterone at an incredible rate, whatever the fuck it is. He's gonna. I feel like he will do that shit.
I feel like personally, OnlyFans is a once in a generation phenomenon. It's like VHS. You know what I'm saying?
Word. I don't think it's gonna last forever.
I think it can and it will.
Because like everything else, if it does last, there's gonna be a free option.
There already is.
There you go.
There's a free OnlyFans?
I mean, you could find free OnlyFans and people still pay.
There's
Arm and a leg.
You know, I
acted like I'm excited, like I'm gonna look it up. I don't know.
There's a free OnlyFans. Yeah, but the point is
Reddit and shit.
Okay. So Reddit steals people's shits, though, right? Like
but there's other free sites. There's other cam sites.
Listen, anybody that has inside access to Reddit information of people that are on OnlyFans are porn addicts.
I'm not on Reddit either.
I'm just saying that sounds kind of wild, right? Like, I again, not even like that. I'm something I'm proud of. I just don't watch porn.
But that's the
you know what I mean?
That's the joke on all these people doing OnlyFans is like you're selling your soul for $50.
I want to make a PSA. I want to make a PSA for the porn people that have tried to come onto the platform. All right, because there's people that reach out. I genuinely just don't know who you are because there's people that like a couple people have come up to me that we both know, like, yo, we got to get this person on the platform, and I'm like, what is that?
We've done an OnlyFans show.
Is that an actual person or what are we saying? And they're like, OnlyFans people, yeah. I'm talking about like porn people, and I'm like, I don't know who it is, and they're like, oh, come on, bro, it's fucking number one porn star in the world, and I'm like, come on, bro, I don't even know. I'm not well versed to have that conversation to be like that for me would be a very not like it's uncomfortable, like I can't talk about sex. It's more like uncomfortable, like I don't know what the fuck you got going on.
I mean, we did have Destiny on
yeah, but Destiny had a different story, right? Destiny has a good Buffalo story that I genuinely right? Shout out to my guy. You know what I'm saying? So like that was a whole different ordeal. You know what I mean? And she does music and she had her own thing. But that was even outside of the box. Yeah. That was a lot of me sitting there saying, so about Freddie. It's Freddie. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was relentless in that. And maybe one of those moments where I'm like, okay, maybe I did a little too much. You know,
It was fine. She
Nah,
was she was
yeah.
fine.
no, I'm just saying, like me, maybe I went a little too far. Like I used to actually enjoy Freddie's music, you know what I mean? Until it became the Buffalo Beef, and I'm like, oh no, got her coming up here, let's go crazy. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that was one of the days I was a little too excited for it.
You know what I saw on Instagram today? I saw a post. Somebody said it was like a topic that, but y'all ain't trying to hear this though, right? It was about Elon Musk. They said Elon Musk is coming into power with Tesla. If he buys TikTok, he's like Trump's right-hand man right now. He's making calls in government, but he's African, right? So this is a black chick in the video. And she goes, so when are y'all gonna get on Elon about not going back and put money into Africa? He's got all these billions. Why don't you be hard on him? Everybody says we got to go back to Africa. We got to go visit the Congo. We got to go see Ghana. We got to go back. We got to get rerouted. But how about him going back to Africa? Nobody chastises. Is he doing things in Africa? Like,
well, his roots to Africa are different. I mean, he's
more of a reason why.
He's a descendant of a Dutch Afrikaner colonialist.
You still got
basically his people were with apartheid.
You
know what I'm saying?
So more of a reason for you to put more money back. Where are you gonna put it back? To the Queenland? To the homeland?
Man, he's basically like the African version of an ex-Nazi. So there's nothing for him
in
to like.
America, just fucking wilding.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but they listen, man, when motherfuckers don't agree with him, they let him know that he's African.
Right.
So like he's really trying to get away from that shit, to be honest with you. The vibe I get from him.
I think it would be a solid move. If he started moving like this dude, Mr. Beast, and buys 5,000 prosthetic legs for, people with no limbs and things like that. If he starts doing little plays like that.
I mean, it inevitably has to be built.
What?
The infrastructure out there. Like it's Africa's a beautiful place that needs more love, more attention. So it's not a bad argument at all to have Elon being from there to go put some work in over there.
Couple dollars.
That would be huge. Akon's done it, right? Or some people say Akon lied about it, like SZA be lying all the time.
I saw Michael Blackson was out there. He brought DC Young Fly out there, took him to show him schools and different properties.
He said
and
he's
stuff
gonna do
like
that shit. That's dope.
That shit is like shit that be touching my heart. Like I be looking at. I used to hate those goddamn videos of like, dude, you could for $1 a day, you could donate. You know what I mean? And I'm like, bullshit. You're stealing the money.
They are.
I wish I believed more in that stuff. I just don't. I really feel like them people be stealing that money. Even when you be like checking out at Publix and they're like, hey, you want to donate to the dog? You could steal my fucking money for some chicken. Get the fuck out of here.
The fact that you even see it means that they spent a whole bunch of resources to make sure that you see it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
word,
saying?
yeah.
Probably the majority of it, because it's all about marketing.
What is Calvin Trending talking about? Calvin's saying some wild shit over there.
Flower pot there, have half a
My
mil.
school's extorting me from my parents.
Hey, but y'all ain't give me your opinion on Jello. $13 million in Def Jam.
Who knows what actually goes down with that deal? I don't think it's like a guaranteed thing. I think that, okay, so the Ball brothers, all right, phenomenal.
Right.
Yeah.
First off, shout out to LeVar Ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this dude really made it happen.
He's on
Even
top of the
in the
world.
track, they're still repping Pops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It says the writer was LaMelo. The beat maker was Lonzo. He was the producer of it.
Oh, so I didn't know it was a whole
Smart.
family affair like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So like,
Smart.
I don't know if it actually was or if he's just giving credit to the bros. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I'm not mad at it. I think it's dope. I think it's more popular because it's him, and I think everybody wanted to see him succeed too. You know what I mean? Like everybody wanted all three of the brothers in the NBA, getting one of the brothers to be a hip hop head, and then now like, okay, so listen to Kendrick Lamar's music right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you could feel that. He's got it. Right. Like you could feel it. You could see it in the sporting events that you hear a new Kendrick song. I don't like going to crazy clubs, right? I don't like going to you put me in a strip club in a VIP section and sit me down.
I mean,
All right, so here goes what I'm saying about it. You hear the Kendrick music even popping up there.
Yeah.
A lot more than you ever did. And it's his time to shine. Right? And he's got this energy about him right now. I feel like Jello also has a little bit of energy. That track comes out, you don't know what's gonna happen with it. It could have just been a car that they played it could have just been a song that lived and died from the car video.
Yeah.
Right? but it didn't. Now you got the NBA locker rooms that started pumping it. They were kind of, in my opinion, I think they were kind of like poking fun at it, but saying it's kind of dope, right? Because it sounds like, it sounds like Nelly was dropping another record.
It sounds better than it should. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, people were like, "Wait a second, whoa, they see me running around the corner, whoa." You know what I mean? Like it's like, okay, Nelly's back.
But
No matter
13
what
milli
I
though.
do.
I ain't gonna lie to you. It does give me like very much smile, bitch. Smile, bitch. Remember Lil Duval? He came out with the song.
Oh, yeah.
He got a crazy deal, and then that was the fucking that. You know what I mean?
I think that's what it would be, but I think that there's a good chance for a return on Jello.
Possibly.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of these deals, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to have this fucking crazy ass. They don't have to do superstar numbers in order to have for that label to have a return on its income. That one track alone could make them a killer.
Oh, it's going to the next
You know what I mean?
football game. It's going to the next basketball game.
that
It's
one
going-
track alone could make them their money back.
Yeah, I mean, it could be being reposted so
You're talking about
much.
13 million. This is why I say what I say about the labels and how somebody needs to humble them. Maybe it's Drake, maybe it isn't. Maybe it happens in 10 years, maybe 15 years, maybe 2 years. Inevitably, enough people are going to be like, fuck you. Because the NCAA, we never imagined it to happen. Yeah. That was, I think, like, you could, if somebody told me that the major record labels gave 2% to everybody else more. They gave them 2% more. Okay, we're going to pay you more for each stream. We're going to pay you more for each album. Now you get more of a percentage. Or take me back 10 years now, and we're saying this. Or the NCAA players are going to get paid.
Yeah,
I would say, okay,
kids.
they're definitely not about to give the NCAA kids any money. They're always going to be strict about that. It's always going to be racism influenced. I would have believed that to the day I died. When they got paid, I'm like, no way. Like they're giving this shit is about to change the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like these kids don't even need to play in the league anymore. Shador Sanders is straight. He doesn't need to be a successful NFL player. He's already paid.
But the net positive is it does bring way more attention to NCAA.
Exactly. It's also going to bring way more attention to the individual musician if they're really actually making it back. Because let's not be coy about it. These people don't really got the money that they say they got.
None of them.
You know what I mean? Like it's really not even them saying that they got it, right? It's the fans saying that they got it. Well, like, you know how many times we've had people up here, and not to discredit anybody, we've had ballers up here, and we've had people that aren't ballers. But you know how many times people say, "Yo, what did they pull up in?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, I can't believe they came out there and da. Like that person is this or that person is that, and I'm like, I mean, no.
Yeah.
Not
You know
all
what I
of
mean? Like that person's hurting right now.
Yeah.
Or
I find
that
that
person asked me to borrow $10,000. You know what I mean? And not there's been people that have fucking come up here and just fucking completely disrespected me. Like, yo, could I, now that we're cool. Like, I got this plan. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you got? If you let me borrow $20,000, I could show you. But you just give me some time to pay you back, because what had happened was I went to I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like,
Stop right there.
No, absolutely not. So we tend to just think, even me, we've talked about this plenty of times. We've been surprised by meeting people in the industry outside of podcasting.
Quite a few
It's just
times.
like you're just running into people outside, and it's like, damn, you ain't, you know what I mean? Shout out to Pepper Jack Cheese. You know what I mean? I get into that because of being outside. I think Elliott Wilson's a fool for saying what he said
about
Cameron.
Yeah, it was a real salty ass moment.
I think he was drunk.
But I think he was smart for going on the show.
what did he
I
say?
think so too.
What did he say?
I just
was
can't.
hating.
He
was saying
He was just saying like, and it's something that we've spoken about out here, that it's a disadvantage, and he doesn't like that hip hop or that famous people are getting into journalism. He doesn't think they should be in there. He thinks that he thinks Cameron uses his connects to get over on him when he's the best journalist out there. Nobody can fuck with him.
I
But
mean, he
that's
actually
subjective.
also said that the show wasn't good.
Yep.
He said that, Stat is the real draw. Like, he said all type of wild shit.
He's got
Like he clearly and okay, it's okay to have that much, but like, yo, That's your type of journalism, and that's what, like, okay, Anderson Cooper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what people like. You have your own fan base and people that fuck with you, but that doesn't mean that everybody's gonna fuck with you. That doesn't mean that everybody thinks you. That's like Drake going out there like, I'm the best. It doesn't matter, and that's it. Like, yo, people have their own flavors, right? Some people don't like pepper jack cheese.
Yeah, but also look what he said about Kai. Look
Or
how,
pepper jack turkey.
look how wrong he
Yeah.
was about Kai, though.
What do you mean? What you said about Kai?
Oh yeah, Kai Cenat.
Hip hop journalism, that whole phrase and quote is from watching Kai Cenat do a couple interviews, having famous people on the stream and being like, this is where you guys get your hip hop journalism.
Oh yeah.
And he was completely off about that. Like, you got to rein in the passing of the guard, so to speak. Am I saying Kai Cenat is a better, bigger, or more professional journalist? Absolutely not. But it's a different form of media.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing.
You got to get with it.
And he's on top of it.
Come on,
Even
man.
if you don't understand it, he's still the best at that.
Come on. You got to support that. You can't just be hating on everything, because then you look like the old guy in hip hop.
Yeah.
Word.
And that's like a super unpopular thing right now. It's a popular, unpopular thing to do.
And I think that's why it was good that he went on the platform and kind of cleared it up. Cam poked at him, called him the pepper jack cheese. But they had that conversation where verbatim, he was like, yeah, I don't want to be the old guy in hip hop. And it's a way for him to rebrand and shit at this point.
But if you don't respect the platform, for you to go up there and do your cameo on that same platform is a little weird for me.
I think it's genius. It reminds me of like...
Yeah, but that goes against what you're saying.
Remember when 6ix9ine used to beef with everybody and then go live with them? And even if it was just them yelling back and forth on the shit, he understood that, like, yo, that content works.
Just eyes.
Yeah, I mean, shit, Charleston White put it great. He's like, even the truth,
but if
you got to dress it up and make it to
But if
content.
that's why he went up there, it goes against what he's saying as far as true journalism.
Man, he got to stay relevant out here.
I guess.
He got to stay relevant out
I
here.
fuck with Elliott, and I like a lot of his takes, but that one was a little weird for me.
I'll tell you what, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the groupie behavior.
Groupie love.
I don't like it. I think that there's so much. I think that there has to be some sort of integrity behind what you're doing. I think that Elliott Wilson be getting so mad at people that he just goes on these rants for 17 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're screen recording 748 things about somebody, it's a little weird. And I'm somebody that I was outside with Elliott Wilson. We hit the club and shit together. He kind of got a little bit of a glimpse that Danza might be a little bit of a basket case. You know what I mean? Like, but like I don't like it personally. I've had higher expectations for him. I get a little bit of what he's saying because he's a great journalist. He could cover hip hop like not too many can, but cover it in his way.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's very informative. It's very calm, and like not everybody's gonna watch Joe Rogan, and not everybody's gonna watch Cam and Mace.
Right.
And not everybody's gonna watch Danza Project. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are gonna have their own flavor of what they like to see. Like, for a lot of people, watching the Elliott Wilson interview is a little dry. Right? Like, it's a lot of loud laughter.
Yeah, he does laugh. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of that, and it's a little dry. You're gonna walk out with a lot of information. He's on point. That there's no doubt about it. But to hate and do it, I don't know. I just don't like the trajectory right now. Maybe he's trying to boost his own platform. And shout out to them doing their platform.
I appreciate his reference points. Like, he is, I would go as far as to say he's a hip hop historian.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
His reference points, just from his perspective, being in the game, being in these rooms, and being around for so long, there's a lot of validity to what he says. But as soon as you put yourself on a pedestal and basically make yourself the end all be all, the judge, so to speak, where you are the one who gets to decide what's dope, what's not dope, what should and shouldn't be done. Your perspective is one thing, your opinion is one thing. That's what journalism is. We appreciate that, but you're not the one to say that. You don't make that call. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Just don't stand so firm on certain points, because.
Well, I got the vibe that he's trying to evolve, but maybe we'll see a more nuanced Elliott Wilson in the future.
That'd be cool. It's hard to do though this late in the game. You know, his brand is one way.
He doesn't be posting mad reckless, so you know he can go any direction.
That's part of the no caption game, though. Take it for what you want. You know, post no caption. Let the comments say what they want to say, and then you can choose how you feel about it.
I guess.
Oh, I was just being vague on purpose. Oh, I don't really care too much. Or, you know, you can side however which way you want to side after it's posted.
All right, I feel you. That makes sense.
I don't know.
Skip Bayless.
Skip.
fucking Bayless.
1.5 for the pussy.
That's blatant bullshit, in my opinion. That could be something as simple as my man was feeling saucy that night, and he was just like, you know, because we all buttered something up. You know what I mean? Where we were like, yeah, I'll give you the world,
It's
baby.
in my bank right now. You want me to show you?
You know what I mean? Like, I found out that one of my relationships was that way. Right? Like, I found out that because it was built on the premise of my, you know, my sauced up times where I was like, yeah, if I ever had you, you know what I mean? I'm gonna wife you up. I'm gonna take care of you for your whole life. I wouldn't even waste time getting married to you, baby girl. And then the relationship started, and they were like, "You're nothing like you said you were gonna be." And I'm like, "What the fuck you mean? Like I'm going above and beyond?" And it's like, "Yeah, but you didn't want to get married to me." And I'm like, "Oh hell no, I don't want to get married to you. What the fuck you talking about?" And then I realized that it's built off the premise, right? Like so, and I'm not saying it's that exact same thing, but sometimes people just be talking shit. My man Skip Bayless is old as fuck. You know what I mean? He's not a looker. You know what I mean? He ain't a ladies man like that. So he was just trying to get some, you know. And his way of approaching it is like, I'll give you the world, baby. I'll give you a signing deal, 1.5 mil. We'll get you in the door. He was just trying to get laid, and then that got used against him. I think that is like, all right, maybe he said something to you, but you know that was bullshit, sweetheart.
What was the premise though? He offered 1.5.
Yeah,
or 1.5 sounds like hush money. That don't sound like let's
No, he
fuck.
offered.
That sounds like be quiet.
Nah,
He ain't even smelled the pussy.
No, that's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think that really happened. And like Stephen A. Smith said, he's like, my man is cheap. You know what I mean? He's like, you know what I mean? He's not sharing money like that. There's the one point. Now, that doesn't mean that this woman is not a victim. That doesn't mean that nothing occurred. It just means that that part is bullshit. There's bullshit in every story.
But this came out because of the girl, right?
That girl just went crazy. Not the Joy girl. I don't think it came out because of that. I think I don't know.
It came out after that, didn't it?
All the stuff was in one report.
Yeah, Joy was collateral damage in the report.
Oh, and then she said, "I'll burn this whole shit down."
Yeah, but I'm wondering if like somehow maybe because it's kind of coincidental around the time he's supposed to renegotiate, this fucking shit comes out, and now he got to part ways with ESPN.
So you think he's like Diddy?
Yeah, or like Drake.
Yeah,
shit gets sticky when it's time to re-up, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Always.
Yeah,
always. That's what I'm saying. Perception in our eyes. From what we see Diddy getting his ass whooped. We see Drake getting his ass whooped. We see Skip getting his ass whooped. But what's really going on behind the scenes and who's doing the ass whipping, right? Who's pumping this shit up in front of, because we're talking about a machine.
Yeah.
You whatever is seen on social media, you don't think, like, people that really sit there and be like, it can't be bots are slow because they don't know how bots work. All right, I could jump on our page right now. I can make one phone call, and our page will look like everybody's commenting on it. All right, I could write out, because this is real. This is how it really happens. You could write out 100 captions. You send it to the guy. Okay, they have all these pages in these phone rooms. And they flood your page with those 100 captions 100 times, right? Go through social media and look through all those people you love so much and look at the comments and keep scrolling and tell me how many times you see the same comment from Vlahir Romanovich. It's out there.
1022.
You know what I mean? Like it's out there. Things are flooded. Now, when you see it that much and you are a generic, You're a person that just has an incentive. You're going out and you want to see, oh, look at all these people. Oh, you seen he said this, he said that, he's saying the same thing he said. They both must agree. He's saying it too, but like I agree with that too. And I'm writing my comment, and now there's a real comment. And guess what? People like hiding in that.
Yeah.
Right. So now there's more and more comments in there. People are flooding because they're like, I feel a part of this too. You make it louder. That's what the bots are there to do. Okay, maybe not like us didn't have bots, or maybe it did, and maybe it had 10% bots, and maybe it just juiced the numbers. Right?
What Drake is saying, they all got bots.
Everybody has bots.
Everybody,
I believe it.
bots.
I believe that.
Listen, Drake. There's a very, 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 very high likelihood that Drake knows what's going on. He's been buddy with everybody in the industry. It's very likely that he's used it to his favor as well in his time. I don't think he needs it anymore. But it's very likely. And I don't think Kendrick needed bots. Let's not get that shit twisted up for a second. I think if what he's saying is true, it's like they're just saying, maybe we can walk ourselves back out of this deal giving him this much money because we don't think he deserves it. Let's fucking pump some noise and volume up and make everybody hate him for a little bit just so we could walk back 400 million.
Exactly.
Maybe it doesn't like...
Or like with Skip, hey man, come to find out you've been trying to fuck the hairdresser.
Yeah, like we're just gonna give you. Our deal that we're gonna give you is this. We're not gonna give you this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like just because you came in here all bossed up saying, "Yo, I want that." Yeah, we know. Yeah, you might give it away to her that 1.5 that we're gonna give you. Nah, you know what I mean. So it's that stuff that people need to take into account. Our perception of it says that this is what it looks like, so this must be what it is. But if Diddy walks out and wins, then how many of us are idiots?
There we go.
You know what I mean? Like if he wins this, everybody is like, people are going to be so shell-shocked that they're just going to be like, oh, they don't value women. It's because of this, or they're going to make every excuse under the sun to not have been wrong from the start.
That's what I'm saying.
And
like,
sometimes you're just wrong.
Because these people are so, like right now, if you go on Tubi, there's like 6 consecutive TMZ specials about Diddy.
Yeah.
Like there's people that's so invested in this shit. They're never gonna be like, oh well, we were wrong. They're gonna be like, we ain't catch the rest.
That's the thing about people nowadays. They won't say they're wrong in any way, shape, or form. Like some of the shit that you see online is just flat out dumb. And then when you are wrong and you double down on it, man, I see like there's some people I really value out in this social media world that I follow. And I was watching Lawyers for Workers go ham on Drizzy. BBL Drizzy. He was wrong. And it was just like, man. And then he doubled down in the morning. And it was like, yo, another report already came out. And then all the people in the comment section, they're going ham on him. And now he has to pick a side. Like, you know what I mean? Because now it's like, do I back down and do I say I was wrong, or do I even go harder? And that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people, I'm one of them, right? And I know I do it a lot to piss people off. I do. I know. People should know that about me. I'll start off a video and I'll put like disclaimer, I hate you and I'm about to piss you off. You know what I mean? And then I say what I say and then people will just go all in. But in reality, I genuinely don't care. I know how to piss people off. And I'm an argumentative person. I'm sorry. I know I'm pretty good at it. You know what I mean? Like cops might show up at the door because how fucking argumentative I am sometimes.
Oh my God.
But yeah.
Joe Budden.
Okay. Man, I'm such a fan of Joe Budden and such a Joe Budden, you rotten piece of shit. No, I'm truly a fan, and no matter what I say about him, I've always been a fan. I think that, like, I made light of the situation. You know what I mean? Like of him knocking on people's doors naked.
Yeah. So what happened though? He was at home and went knocking on doors.
I think he lives in some sort of like some close proximity, maybe in like some condo or something.
Yeah,
he tried to get into the wrong door or something. Now, I think anybody with common sense would know this was no weird jerk off moment in front of people type of thing. It was a clear mistake of something that he did. Maybe I think most people probably thought he was high or fucked up.
Right.
I think that's what most people thought.
But they said he was.
He said
naked?
he was sleepwalking.
Yeah, he sleeps naked. So he walked naked when he used to sleep.
I used to sleep
That's
naked
a tough
all the
story.
time.
That's a tough story.
So the backup that he does have is that he's spoken about it on plenty of podcasts about him being a sleepwalker.
he don't stay with nobody. You don't like. I guess when you sleepwalking, you can unlock doors and shit.
Yeah, so but that's the thing though. So like the story initially came out that he was trying to punch his code in through the door. It's not like he just walked into somebody. He was like, what the fuck is going on? And then he went across the hall or wherever he went and punched the right code in and actually went in. But the allegations that the person was making was a little bit extreme. Like, oh, he was trying to break in and like, I don't think that Joe is gonna do all that. I'm not buying that for 1 second.
Yeah, I never thought
I think that when most
real.
people heard people talk about Joe and they're like I've seen so many. Again, I'm a Budden fan. I'm in one of the Budden groups. All right, on X, and I've seen a lot of people say, "Oh, people must be feeling stupid now that Joe came out and told everybody what the real situation is." And I'm like, I don't think anybody feels stupid. I don't think there's too many people that really thought Joe was out there trying to break into doors and fuck people's dogs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I don't think that was what happened.
Except some super Drake stands.
Yeah. That's definitely a possibility. I don't think he tried. I think it's simple mistake. I knew it would be cleared up. I didn't think Joe was going to jail for, again, dog fucking. I just didn't think it was going to happen. You know what I mean? I just think it's funny, right? And look, we are in the business now.
Right.
There's going to be shit that we do sometimes that people are going to roast us about. It's okay.
My God.
I'm down for it. Like I'm a good sport. Like
it's gonna be funny.
It is, but like it's Joe is. You know, Joe's somebody that, again, when I say the shit about Joe, is Joe put all his shit out there. Joe put a video of himself going live on Ustream and fucking with an ice pack over his eye. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you know, Wu-Tang punched me in the face. He's the one that was on Love and Hip Hop getting engaged to Tahiri when they were in Rocky Roads. Yeah. He's the one that got punched by Consequence. You know what I mean? He's the one that was his brother, his friend got slapped by one of Ransom's boys at the door. You know what I mean? Like, you remember the girl that had that viral video where she slapped her boyfriend's mom? That girl that was y'all know the video.
Slapped her. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm about to pull this video.
But to your point, he does kind of just speak on his own shit. Like, listen, man, y'all know what's going on.
Y'all don't remember this video? What the hell? Now I'm on my frequency music. This. Let's see. You don't remember this video? Where she slapped the hell out of whoever's mom?
Press play. Oh, like at school or some shit.
Nah, she went to her door and she's like, "Oh, you think I'm somebody to play with?" You know what I mean? And slap, and then I guess that girl got killed.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But like that's kind of how Joe Budden's situation was back in the day. He was fucking around back and forth with Ransom, and one of Ransom's people walked up to his people and was like, walked to the door and slapped the shit out of him. You know what I mean? Joe. So like Joe's put all this stuff out there that's been spoken about forever. I speak on it and make light of the situation, but that doesn't mean that at those moments in my life I wasn't upset. I'm like, damn, Joe, you got to get one back. You know what I mean? Get one back for the team, light skin. You know what I mean? Like. But that is what it was. So like I feel like a lot of people, especially Joe Budden fans, we've always been super passionate about being Joe Budden fans. Joe Budden was somebody that's always connected with his fan base. Again, I am in podcasting, and part of the reason I'm in podcasting is because of Joe Budden, because I've been a huge fan of Joe Budden. And I'm like, you know what, I could do that.
Word.
All right, so like, let's not get that mistaken for a second. I've been on record saying I think one of like people said, who would you like to have an interview with more than most? I believe it was like Barack, Trump, and Budden. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? Like I think that's one, because if I sit down with Budden, I got so much. Like I could be like, okay, track 3,
that's gonna be
this album. Boom, you said this. What did you mean by that? I could break that shit down. You know what I mean? Like I got questions. I spoke it to him on phone chats. Like I was a Joe Budden fan. I was a cornball. You know what I mean? Like I was an internet soldier. So I could openly admit that. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like I enjoyed that type of music for a long time. I also say like that's probably why my relationships were so fucked up, because I was listening to Joe and I'm listening to him like, yeah, that's right, bitch. You know what I mean? So look, it is what it is. I think it's unfortunate, that situation. I think that was good publicity for him. I think again, because he's good at taking the criticism and bouncing off of that shit, because he's been through a lot of fucking criticism.
He's killing it right now too.
Yeah. But Budden is one of those guys.
No doubt.
He's one of those guys.
Did y'all see the Jamie Foxx special?
I
Appreciate
did.
you, Joseph.
You saw it?
Yeah.
I didn't watch
get
it.
to
I
see
saw
it?
the clips.
What'd you think about it?
I thought it was good.
Okay.
It wasn't so much a comedy special. It was like more like a one-man show. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And he brought his kids out there. They played songs and cried. A lot of God is good and won't he do it?
Yeah.
And da. What was it? Atlanta saved me.
Yeah.
So like it felt.
Atlanta hospitals.
Yeah. I thought it was good. I thought it was real good. I thought it wasn't like super funny like that. You know what I mean?
Are we so fucked that we could just sit there and say we don't fuck with Jamie Foxx? Are we that fucked up as a people?
Who doesn't fuck with Jamie Foxx?
I'm just saying, like, people have taken a side.
Well,
People have definitely picked a side. People have decided, I don't fuck with this. They not like us. They not like us. This is the world we live in today. People have taken a side and said, I don't fuck with Jamie Foxx because Cat Williams. And I think that it's true. Look at Jamie Foxx comment sections.
what did he even say? I forgot about
He calls him. He says that that's not him. That he's gay. That he plays.
yeah.
That he's he's no different than Diddy or whatever. Like, it's just, he says a lot of comments about people that make people sit there and be like, I don't fuck. Like come on, bro. Like, people weren't fucking with Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart took over. Kevin Hart took over comedy for a few years.
I mean,
You know what I mean? Like,
that whole Cat Williams shit. Like I even went and saw him last year. I saw him perform.
Cat
Yeah.
fire.
And Monique was funnier than him.
Really?
Yeah.
Monique is funny,
a
bro.
legend.
Monique is funny as shit.
Monique is
bro.
funny as fuck.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
Yeah. So that whole thing, I mean, I think it was just great marketing, man. Like it was a great way to sell
Yeah,
tickets.
and that's what I'm saying though.
So-
Is just because he says something about somebody, are we that stupid to sit there and be like, yo, Jamie Foxx ain't never been shit. Like, Jamie Foxx is one of those people that is multi-talented. What is it?
What?
Fall for your type.
Yeah.
Come on, my boy.
Oh yeah, and he sang a
No,
couple
ain't saying
songs and
shit.
shit.
Go, digga.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like,
Uh-huh.
Jamie Foxx?
Yeah, he
Are we
performed on that
describing Jamie Foxx?
Nah, never that.
Yeah,
Is
that
that
was
the
weird.
world we live in? There's a lot of people that I see in comment sections that trash Jamie Foxx. He's never been shit. What?
Nah, see,
Fucking Ray.
Yeah, like you are you
Django?
out of your, yeah, like you were out of your
Yeah.
fucking mind.
he's one of the few that
Comedian?
are what you would call a Renaissance man, because he can act, he can sing, he'll probably rap with you. He can do,
Yeah.
he
Get
can
on
do
a
a
comedy
little,
stage. Yeah,
he can do a little bit of everything. But I wasn't a fan of the special, man.
Bro, he did everything in the special.
It was a little sappy for me, and it was a little kind of woe is me a little
He
bit.
talked about how he learned how to walk, man. It reminded me
Which
when
is-
Tracy Morgan came back and did his special.
I feel like he just tried to do a 60-minute special and explain a lot in the midst of a comedy special, and it wasn't all the way one thing. So it just left me kind of feeling like weird
I
about it.
respect Cato's criticism on things like this because Cato was an improv guy.
Listen, I worked at the Improv
You know
10
what I
plus
mean?
years.
I'm going there this weekend to see Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson. Who's Josh Johnson?
The,
Dania?
I believe so.
Okay.
The guy with the sweater. He always wears a.
If I see him, I'll probably recognize
yeah,
him.
he.
Triple P?
No.
Shout out Triple P.
Nah, because I see what you're saying as a comedy special, but I looked at it more like a one-man show. You ever see the Tyson one-man show? It's fucking great.
No.
Tyson got a
I've
one-man
seen
show.
clips. I've seen clips where he's
Fucking
doing
great.
stand-up too.
Now he ain't doing stand. He's just explaining shit, but because he's funny, parts of that shit are just funny as fuck. And this,
Different, though. I could hear Tyson talk all day.
yeah, and he's telling the stories from his first-hand perspective, a lot like Jamie Foxx. This felt like a variety show, like more than just a
I just
specific
felt
comedy
like
show.
I felt like he was forcing me to cry. like forcing me to feel bad for him, and I just don't like that.
You have
emotions? I understand that I mean, of course I do, man. Of course.
He's forcing me to feel bad.
It was just like, you know, he was having extended pauses and just like 1 second, that's so I can cry. I just never like that. I don't care if it's real. I know
watch it now.
I know he went through some real shit.
Intrigued now.
You're gonna feel how I felt.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it right now.
Only
there was an amazing moment. He brought his daughter out. And he had her play her guitar, and they did a duet together. It was like a beautiful fucking moment. But for like 15 accumulative minutes of just wait a second. This is just hold on 1 second. I don't like that. I'm not watching a comedy special for that.
But
maybe I had different expectations coming into it.
It wasn't really a comedy special. Like I knew going in.
Is it called the comedy special?
It was like, let me explain. It was like, let me tell you what I've been missing. And
what is it? Is it supposed to be a comedy special?
It's more like a one-man show.
What is it labeled as?
Listed on Netflix as a comedy special.
But it's not. It's like a one-man show.
Okay.
He fucking sings like 7 songs at the end.
It's Jamie Foxx, probably.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that I don't know if that'll be smart for me to say. It might like make more people be like, "Oh yeah, fuck him."
Yeah, the name of it is called "What Had Happened Was," because there was a lot of speculation as to him being sick, him being cloned.
I from what I saw of the clip, I enjoyed watching it, and I'm like, this will be dope. I fuck with Jamie Foxx. Always been a huge fan.
Mm-hmm. It was good. I just didn't like it. Like for what it was there was good. It was great moments. I just didn't like it.
I feel like I was prepared going in. Like I ain't watched it when it first dropped because I was like, part of this shit's gonna be sad. You know what I'm saying? Right. He's gonna be talking about like how he thought he was gonna die, and that's exactly what he did. Yeah. And then he brought his kids out. It's real emotional.
It's a beautiful story.
It's a beautiful story.
When you see it, you're gonna be like, damn, this guy's trying to make me cry.
It's a redemption saga. You know what I'm saying?
But that is Jamie.
Yeah.
That is who he is.
And he also used to sing at every episode of Jamie Foxx show at the end.
That show was amazing.
Your past girl. You say there's a reason for it all.
All right, let me ask you this. You consider yourself a Jamie Foxx fan?
Yeah.
Then you like the show.
Okay.
But it's not a comedy special.
Yeah, I believe it. I think a lot of comedy specials aren't comedy specials. I watch a lot of comedy specials. I've watched a lot of comedy specials where it's like is Dave Chappelle's comedy specials a comedy special, or is he just telling us some real shit that sometimes sounds funny?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I watch Dave Chappelle, I walk away like, fuck, I don't know what's going on out here. Dave Chappelle be making me reevaluate everything. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like Kevin Hart's comedy specials are comedy specials.
Yeah.
Cat Williams comedy special. George Carlin.
Different type, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like go all the way back. He's
Yeah.
telling you some real shit.
Yeah.
You know what I compare that to for Dave Chappelle? It's like Samuel L. Jackson, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. These guys, when they act in these movies, they're not acting as anyone else. Samuel Jackson it's like he's being Samuel Jackson in that setting.
Yeah.
When you see Robert De Niro, it's like he's being Robert De Niro in that setting, in that role. Dave Chappelle, when he does stand-up, he's just being Dave Chappelle. Some people, when they go do stand-up, it's, well, you know what happened, guys? And so guess what? They're doing something.
Yeah.
Whereas he's just being himself. So it is kind of dope. And somebody mentioned that actually, like his comedy specials are him. It's like current events. He's going to address every little thing on his own time. He's the only motherfucker that will stop in the middle of a show, smoke a cigarette, and then continue the rest of his fucking. You're on Dave's time when you watch Dave's show. Yeah, man.
And so maybe that's what you were on with Jamie Foxx. So you just didn't like it.
Just don't.
You were on Jamie's time.
I don't like when people try to pull you to like.
But what
feel
if
bad for
what
them.
if that's him?
And I hope that's not what it was.
You got to think about it. That man hasn't spoken to anybody until this.
He thought he was gonna die.
He did a little media run before it dropped and stuff.
Maybe about that, but this is the first time that he's speaking on it. So
correct. That was
you know what I mean. So like maybe that is genuine as fuck.
I'll watch it again.
You felt like it felt fake.
Necessarily forced, more on the side of force.
Yeah.
Not fake. I think he might have genuinely gone through some shit. He looks physically and visually, he looks different. Yeah. Like you can see when somebody came back from death. Right, you know what I mean? When even like. Certain situations where people have procedures, they come back looking a little bit.
And a lot of these dudes aren't telling us what really goes on. Like nobody knew Charlie Sheen had fucking
No,
that he was.
no, a lot of people knew. A lot of
No,
people
but nobody knew for a long time. They didn't know for a long time, and once it came out, then it came out. To
Maybe
a lot of people
like
knew.
you were saying, like perception, but it was very well known in the industry because his body changed. Because we used to see him come to the improv.
But what I'm saying is, most people initially thought it was drug usage only. They didn't know he was sick.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
You know what I mean? And
But
then the world
they
started
knew.
knowing that he was sick, and then it was like, whoa, bro, you slept with everybody.
Or
So who else is?
people in the industry,
You know,
knew.
like, and all I'm saying is, with somebody like Jamie Foxx, sometimes they don't really tell you the true story because maybe it's too deep. Look at Black Panther,
Oh, you talking about? I was thinking about the Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
He didn't tell anybody. He just was visibly thinner,
Yeah,
and then he dies. And his reasoning was he didn't want to let anybody know. Right?
Want
Like
nobody
he
to feel
left
bad
this
for him.
story. Like, what if that's Jamie Foxx's story?
Well, he explained it. What he
So I haven't watched it, so I'll watch it there, and I'm sure I'll learn. But we don't know. Like, a lot of people don't know the struggles that people go through behind closed doors. You know what I mean? And how much of the battle is to go out in front of the world and speak that.
Do you think Ice Spice is sick?
No, I think Ice Spice. Listen, I think Ice Spice. All right, you give the girl a couple years. She's a young girl. She's getting fit. Once you build the muscle on that body, she might pop out and start killing these bitches. But let Glorilla shine right now. Is all I'm saying. All right, you know what I mean? Just like Uncle Murda said, Glorilla got a fatter ass than Ice Spice right now.
Crazy.
Crazy.
You know,
That was not on my bingo card.
bingo card.
That poor girl, man. People talk about everything but her music.
Who, Ice Spice?
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's okay.
Her music's okay.
No, I'm just saying it's okay that they don't.
Is half her act having a fat ass? Is that is that
of
not?
course, her
Yeah,
twerking shit, her
twerking
twerking
Because
shit made her.
every performance video I've ever seen when she's ever on stage, it's that.
Yeah.
That's how she starts
She
every
can
show.
definitely rap though. It's just that it's
Word.
definitely not everybody's cup of tea. But like if you pay attention to
She's
the way that New York operates with the drill shit,
Yeah.
she's the female drill rapper. You know what I mean?
She
Like
got it.
it is. She could get down on the beat. She could get like it for the people who, I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying for the people that like it, you could. Again, I'm that dude, right? Like I'm like, okay, you're entitled to like whatever the fuck you want to like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, shit. Good for her for getting healthy, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
overall,
we don't know what she's gonna look like. This is a little kid. You know what I mean? She's getting fit. Let her keep getting fit. Let's see what happens and what she looks like. She's gonna still transform in front of our eyes. You know what I mean? Like Ice Spice might come out 2 years from now straight like slaying everybody. Like damn, you know what I'm saying? Like she could, because when you get, this is what I was telling Uncle Murda. I was like, the girl's getting fit. They said, bro, it's 1 a.m.
Yeah.
No, it's not. We're in Vegas. But when you see Ice Spice, like if you've ever seen anybody with a progression when they start getting their body right, you know what I mean? They're it's like a young pit.
So you don't think it's an Ozempic?
I think she's definitely getting fit, right? Like maybe it's Ozempic or whatever, but you've seen her working out, you've seen her doing shit. When a lot of women do that, their body kind of gets out of whack in the beginning, and then they start stacking on. Because when you don't get it twisted, when you lose fat, your body starts looking like what you ain't want it to look like that for a while. It takes time. This isn't something that you know what I mean? Like you ain't never seen anybody do no bodybuilding shit. Like you ain't never seen these females get in there and start getting their body right over some time. They'll tell you like, wait till I get my body right. I think Ice Spice is telling the world that right now. My opinion.
listen, man, one baby and she's back, baby.
So he did about Fat Joe on the Ozempic, on the old needle.
Good for him.
Yep.
Get healthy. When I see older people get on steroids and lose weight, and I'm all for it. Put some hair back on that scalp. Go ahead. Listen, man, time is short here on Earth, my brother. You got 20, 25 years left. Do it with a full head of hair and some abs, my nigga. Go hard, dog.
But
you
even
already
if-
made it. What else you got to worry about in life?
Even if it's fucking up your liver and your pancreas and shit like that?
Nah, I mean, this shit.
don't
If
think
I
all
got
of it
20
is.
years left, I'm gonna live it skinny and happy and shining.
I don't think
that shit is
for
working.
everybody it's just gonna get you sick. I think that if you abuse something like that, yeah. And I think certain people are gonna have some sort of reactions to it possibly, but It is a medicine, right? So like for some people, it's doing what it's supposed to do.
But the thing is, right? Well, it's like this is almost like the guinea pig phase because you're not really supposed to use that shit for long term.
The guinea pig phase happened.
Well, the thing is, how many people are using it long term? I mean, like over a year.
So I sell health insurance. I'm in the health insurance industry, right? And I have a lot of clients that are on Ozempic or they're trying to get on Ozempic.
Right.
For the people with diabetes, it absolutely works, but it solves more problems than one. So for some people, it's joint pain and it's inflammation and it's a bad knee or a bad hip or by losing weight, it solves a lot of those other problems. Their blood pressure goes back to where it needs to be.
But for how long? How long are you supposed to use it for?
But that's up to them. You got people that take a jigsaw to their gut and throw it in their fucking ass. Okay? What's worse? Which one's worse? Putting synthetic whatever the fuck in your chest cavity and
but
what's worse?
But one is not claiming to be a medical procedure.
I think that if you're following strict doctor's orders on what you're doing, it's okay.
For years?
And not for everybody. Sometimes it is for years. Like sometimes it's not just something that is all these medications that are out there. Sometimes it's years long that they prescribe it to you. Sometimes it's for the rest of your life, right? Like there's who's to say? You know what I mean? So that's that person's. We don't know if Ice Spice has some issues that it's hard for her to lose weight. You know, she's somebody that's naturally built that way. You know what I mean? And it's not healthy for her, and she wanted to get healthy. We don't know. Right. And so like there that does happen to there's a lot of people that struggle with weight issues and diabetes and things of that nature that we just go ahead and we look at them all the time like this fat bitch. You know what I'm saying?
That's so much more fun though.
Yeah. But they're on these medications and they start getting fit in front of our eyes and we're like, whoa, what happened? You know what I mean? Like shout out to Fat Joe for not wanting to be Fat Joe and wanting to be Joe. You know what I mean? Like, man. Shout out to him, you know?
I'm just saying, we might see them commercials 5 years from now that say, have you been prescribed Ozempic? If
you know what's wild?
But the vaccine but there's so much shit.
You ever tell you something crazy? Fat Joe's album is dope.
I haven't heard it.
I was listening to it the other day. I'm like, what? Let me go listen to it because, okay, maybe I'm an asshole for it, right? Because I'm Latino.
Right.
And I didn't want to listen to Fat Joe's album. But I've listened to a lot of Fat Joe albums, you know what I mean? He's older. Yeah. He's older, so I didn't want to listen to it for whatever reason. And then I was like, you know what? Am I being naive to not listen to that? He definitely has some dope records throughout his career. Fat Joe's been one of them ones. And I listened to it. I'm like, this is actually a dope album. He's not lying. Sam Buck, shout out Sam Buck. He's the one that got me to listen to it. Because he posted up a video. He's like, yo, is he sounding like Griselda on here? You know what I mean? And it was dope. His On the Radar freestyle. It was dope. But shout out to Sam Buck for showing the world that. And then I listened to it, and he's got some records on there. He really does.
No doubt.
I tell you what, this is something that for the people that are watching us right now and the people that stayed up with us, thank you. This is something that we're going to start doing every week. But just because this is, again, we got so lost in having so many guests up here that it's like, yo, when do we got time to do family and work and life? Life be life, and that's the saying now, right? So we're definitely going to be doing this, and this is fun. Like this, Kato and I are going to argue on here too.
Turn your notifications on so you can catch it. And then when we go live, you'll get that notification, and then y'all can jump in with us, jump in the comments, talk some shit. Tell us what y'all think about Ice Spice. Tell us what y'all think about Fat Joe no longer being fat. Skinny Joe, Joe Mo, Cam and Mace, Joe Budden, Joe, all these niggas.
Let's try not to keep you up so late next time, right?
Legal goes guns. I definitely do. It's just that we haven't gone live in a long time. So this is why I'm saying that we're going to start it. And there's 11 people because there was no notice. I just put a thumbnail on there now because Orlando didn't put it up there. Shit. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
My bad. So, like, you know what else? We ain't picking the title yet.
Yeah. So like there's so many reasons that it's not. This is new. This is something that I was like, yo, me and Kato were talking about it for a while. We used to do it all the time. We used to have a ton of viewers that used to watch us live, and we gave up on it.
Every show was live.
Yeah, we gave up on it completely. And we lost our live audience. People start watching us after. You know what I mean? So now we're building it up again, just because it's like, this is how we started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We were going live on whatever app, We're streaming on IG and on Facebook and on YouTube, and we were building it up, and we were talking back and forth. I love talking to the people. It's something that I might have to deal with some like, oh well, we told you we don't want you to. It's like, but look, I'm this Danza, right? And this is Kato. This is who we are at the core. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we do. We talk to the people. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Look, the amount of people that are on live right now, I'm just appreciative for it. And we're going to start putting out those notifications, start having shows ready, and people are going to start. You could expect us to talk our shit, and you could expect a lot of people to be like, yo, that guy's an asshole, and that guy's a sweetheart. You know what I mean? He's so nice, and this guy's such an asshole. It's like something that me and Kato are going to be infamous for forever. Yeah. There's going to be certain people that just do not want to talk shit to Danza. Like, I'm going to talk to Kato because he's a smart one. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen people say, I've seen a lot of people say shit like, such a breath of fresh air to hear the other guys speak. You know what I mean? Like, because Danza doesn't shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? So like, it's always going to be that back and forth. But yeah, we're definitely going to be touching base with all the fans, and that's what it is. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in today. Make sure you go to the IG pages, In Danza We Trust. I'm always talking my shit. Ayo Kato, AYEOKATO on IG. We're on TikTok, Danza Project. We're on X, Danza Project. And yeah, that's really what it is.
One more topic.
One more.
What do y'all think about Speed, Kai, Aiden Ross? What do you think about this era of, I don't even know what to call it.
Streaming,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, when you mentioned all them, Speed, Kai, and Aiden, well, maybe Speed and Aiden are being trained by Mac Method,
yeah,
which is dope to see them getting fit.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mac Method. I thought that's where you're going with it, but I think it's dope. I think it's necessary.
Mm-hmm. Are they a threat to what we do?
No. Everybody could survive.
Can we do what they do?
I don't think I could.
I mean,
I guess it's more of, do we want to?
Yeah, like academics does what they do, right? Like in a little bit of a different fashion, but he live streams.
Looks for him though.
Huh?
I don't like how that looks for him though.
Oh man, that's his whole thing though.
Yeah.
And he's one of the best.
Yep.
But I see him as an older guy doing.
He's just doing it first. He was doing it
early. He's the reason why they're doing it.
Yeah, he's one of the first on Twitch.
Yeah, he's a beast at what he does. Sure. I feel like everybody can exist, right? Like it's something that, like, you look at Amazon and you look at all the people that are selling products. It used to be eBay that was like the primary one. Now Amazon is. And a lot of people I always tell people this. They're like, oh, you know what? I plan on getting into this industry, but I feel like it might be oversaturated. I say to them, find me one that isn't. Find me an industry that isn't oversaturated. The only thing that you're going to end up telling me is that you don't know who your competition is in one of these industries.
Yeah.
That's it. Because as soon as you jump in, I just want to be the first one with the Maserati. Okay. Go get that Maserati and tell me you're the first one with it and the only one with it. You know what I mean? They actually sold 500,000 of them yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, you're not the only one with it, but congratulations on being the first. Or, okay, Soldier Boy. You know what I mean? So, like, it's that. It's only not oversaturated if you don't know who else is out there. Right, so like, there's a million streamers. If we wanted to stream, could we do well at it? I'm pretty sure, but I just feel like for me, my personality, it won't mesh well.
It's a different type of skill set. It's like, you got to be
you got to be able to type on, and have cameras on you, look up shit online.
You got to interact with a large amount of people at once, and then still essentially talk to yourself, but be entertaining and interactive at the same time.
Facts.
While not really doing nothing. Or doing something else totally different, like playing a game, actually just doing all this shit.
Right.
So,
Facts.
I mean, I'm going to tell you what, the first time I actually started really respecting the shit is when I had my studio. I remember I had some client and they brought like their child in or whatever, right? And they're there fucking around the iPad watching the stream. And I'm hearing the fucking stream in the background. And the dude is on some next level shit. He was promoting, remember what Travis Scott did a Fortnite thing?
Yeah, huge.
He was promoting that shit. He was like, all right, guys, So next 2 subs in the chat, this, that. And remember that on this day we got the Fortnite stream, we collected, and like every 5, 10, 20 seconds, he's like, all right, guys, shout out to so-and-so. We got the new Travis Scott, da-da-da. And I'm like, this is an excellent way to promote shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's basically hyping this shit up for hours on end.
Yeah, man.
like-
Well, so Joe Rogan was talking about this. He said, by going on these streams, you get more views than if anybody was watching CNN. He said, CNN might have 35,000 followers at any given time because people are watching TV.
That's how
He
Trump
said, but
was.
streams will get millions at a time.
Yep.
So it goes further faster. And it's not on your fucking tube, on your fucking TV. It's on your phone. So it gets text and sent, and it gets memed, and it gets airdropped, and it's on the WhatsApp, and it's in a group chat,
And
and
it's
in the
clipped up and
Instagram.
chopped up, and that's how Trump is the president again, because he took a different route.
Boom.
He went to the streamers, right? I
Nelk
didn't think it was going
boys?
to work, but man, he
Nelk boys, Joe
Aiden,
Rogan.
come on. That dude went everywhere,
Yeah.
except for the Danza Project. And Vlad.
He gonna
I know
learn.
Vlad wanted that interview.
I ain't get it.
Yeah. But yo, shout out to all of y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. This is the Danza Report. It's January 15th. We got to get going. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Bah.